It's Operation Babble with Myke, Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Get hype.
Cow.
Boom.
Moo cow? Is that
He said moo cow. What? This is why we vet our guests before they come on.
Do we know? I feel like we don't.
No, we don't. We really don't. But we do finally get some guests again. It's been what, 2 episodes since we've had a guest?
I don't know, man. I can't count.
I don't know.
Yeah, a few.
So back again with us is
Back again.
Q. How do you want to be on here? Darkman? Or
Hey, what's up? All right. Well, hey, what's up? My name is Quinn,
there we go.
and I ran a lot. So on Facebook, you can hit me up on Darkman's Laboratory for my blogs Durant, and I actually have a brand new show coming soon called The Mighty Quinn Show, where I go talk about some gaming and music. So definitely hit me up on Facebook.com/DarkmanLabs, which is spelled DARCMANLAB. Only 10 letters. It's
Ding,
not
ding,
that hard.
ding, ding, ding.
I mean, you were just supposed to introduce yourself, not do some shameless plugs yet. I mean,
He fucking showed the hell out of himself there. I liked it.
You have to go through the whole like hour or 2 hours of me and John berating you before you get to advertise. Come on now.
It was preemptive.
I
It's fine.
was just saying, well, not that it's recording, so I got to start early somehow. Like,
Fair enough.
All right, so what's going on, guys? What's new with y'all? Before we hop into anything.
well, I'm enjoying my quarantine in Oregon, Ohio, which is like just east of Toledo, where I usually do my shows, like also my home.
Fucking
Motherfucker,
doxed himself.
I said
Right.
when you told me you were in Oregon, or when you said that you were in Oregon the other day on your live stream, I thought you were in not in
Like
Ohio,
Oregon State?
like Oregon State.
Yeah, like okay. So before we go into our like our usual stuff, Toledo. I mean, like anywhere in Northwest Ohio is so fucking weird. Because in Toledo, like especially in East Toledo, you get jumped if you actually mispronounce a mispronounced word. Like Nevada, like the state, they'll hate you if you say Nevada. You have to say Nevada.
Yeah.
Like it throws the whole thing off. And like, and there was just one time when I actually mispronounced it. Like I almost got into a fight with a plumber, just before the freaking bridge heading west. So it was just so weird of a time. Yeah, but if you actually say Oregon here in Oregon, you actually get yelled at, especially to the cops. It's a bitch.
It's like they're like policing my speech. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like
it's laughable, but at the same time, like it'll piss you off because like you, me, John, are just we're men of grammar. Like we want to make sure the words we say is correct. T's crossed, I's dotted, Q's slanted.
Oh, I will drop a grammar hammer like you read about.
But at the same time, here is bizarre world. Where I'm at. It's like for me, like spending my my 30 years in this state, it's ridiculous.
Sounds like too long to me.
It's way too long.
Old as fuck.
I mean, I'm a straight tourist though. Like,
I'm a bent tourist.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
A foreign tourist?
Of course I want on.
What's up with you, John?
Man, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm all here right now. Like,
it doesn't look like you are.
I'm tired. No, I've just been. I got asked to do a couple of different podcasts. They were kind of fun. They're like little like game show-esque type things. And then I got
they're a lot funner than this one, right?
Funner? Well,
funner.
I wouldn't use the word funner, but
see what I mean by grammar? Like,
we don't need
I proved
grammar.
your point within like fucking 2 minutes.
Right.
No, they're interesting. Like the first one I went on, it was like Name That Tune. It was like an old game show. It's just they would play like a backtrack and then we'd just try and guess the song. I did fucking terrible.
Was that with the same one from last week?
The other night. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did this one. It was like Chaotic Corner or something like that. The guy's name is Chris Knight with a C. C Chris and then K Knight, like Knigget.
Calvin Klein.
Yeah, right. And he brought me. It was like 30 minutes before they were supposed to go live, and he's like, "Oh, you want to jump on?" I'm like, "Sure." And pretty much all it was like he had like 4 topics, and then we just went in on it, and it was kind of fun. I hadn't met some of the guys, and then Black Panther came up, and there was two other black guys on the panel, so I annoyed them a little bit. So I think I'm supposed to come on to their thing in like a week or 2, and we're gonna talk Black Panther because I told them it was extremely mediocre, but nowhere near as bad as Captain Marvel. So there is that. So it's not the worst in the MCU, and you're still fighting Thor: Dark World. So anyway, that was fun. And then Hannah and I took a trip down memory lane, and we watched a really good animated film, and I forgot how good it was. Anastasia. You remember that one?
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that movie.
Fucking Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Fraser Crane. I forgot how annoying Bartok was, but like I almost forgot like Christopher Lloyd was the bad guy, and that was awesome. Like, and the animation's
Rasputin,
like insane.
I believe.
Yeah, the animation's insane. It was like it made me really want to go back and watch Treasure Planet too, because I don't think I ever gave that movie a fair shake.
Right.
Treasure Planet, was that?
And just to attest to that, like I always thought Anastasia was kind of, the animation was really close to very Don Bluth.
I can see that.
Like not exactly sick or a nymph, but like,
yeah.
But it's pretty up. It's pretty up there.
It was just weird to see like classic 2D animation put into this like weird 3D-esque world. So it could be like extremely jarring from time to time, but then other times you have like these really cool environments that feel way more like they have like this extra bit of depth to it, which is really neat, especially like for like their big set pieces, like when like they sing like have you heard the Rumor in St. Petersburg song? It's really cool because they have like this big dance in the street and stuff. It was really cool. I forgot how good that film was. I do lose my shit a lot because I forget that it's about Anastasia like during the time of like czars and stuff like that, and like Rasputin tried to like take care of the family bloodline, and you would never think it took place in Russia, considering like the only person with an accent is Vlad, played by Fraser Crane.
That's how a lot of things used to be. Like they never gave 2 shits about giving accents to people.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, Beast from X-Men 3.
Right.
I can understand why they don't do it, because they do. Russian always seems to be the accent that doesn't really get used, because I think it could be goofy. Like they're afraid it gets too like villainous mustache twirler type accent. Like that's why it was like neat to see Colossus have it in Deadpool. That was cool. And
yeah, I respected that.
No, it's a good film. I forgot how much I liked it. Music's awesome too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just awesome. It was a good film.
So,
I enjoyed it.
Did you watch it on Blu-ray or DVD?
I mean, Blu-ray. What am I, a fucking heathen? What is this, 1997? What do we do? It's
Okay.
not like
I mean, I'm just wondering.
I'll have to go buy myself a Blu-ray rewinder.
That's what. Yeah. That. See.
I was about to say, did you watch the movie on VHS or DVD?
I don't even know what a DVD is. Never heard of them.
Oh,
Blu-ray and 4K only, man. It was on my Betamax.
To the max. Remember,
Laserdisc, bro.
Anastasia was around that era, like max, extreme.
You gotta watch it on Laserdisc. Laserdisc is pure gold. Like that quality holds up.
What movie do you think made the most money because of the time it came out? Because of all the different like media changes, you think? Like, I would probably assume something like The Godfather or like Scarface. Because I mean, they had VHS, and then you had Betamax, DVD, Laserdisc, ultra high def friggin' discs, and
one of the Rambo films was in that era too.
Yeah, probably just about anything
First
in the
Blood,
70s or 80s, I'd guess.
Well, with the early DVDs, I can actually attest it's practically Titanic.
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, Titanic was released first on VHS and then
Right.
DVD eventually. But it was a two thing VHS, and then you had
right.
your
When
normal
two VHSs what made you feel important.
Yeah. So then you
That's
had
fucking
like
quick,
your
man.
blue box, and then there was the gold box Titanic 2-tape
Yep.
still, which was
You always buy the
widescreen.
gold box. Everybody knows you buy the gold
Oh, yeah,
box.
especially Star Wars.
Yee.
Mm.
I got the
But
one
yeah.
with Darth Vader's face on it.
But apparently, like you can rewind VHS tapes like that.
Yeah, they used
Well,
to sell. They
and-
used to
and
sell a. They used to sell a tape rewinder.
I
so
have
you
a-
could, like start the movie and rewind the tape.
Mine was a car. I still have it. It's a blue, like almost translucent car that you can pop it in and boom.
Mhm.
So
Be kind, rewind, dude.
yeah.
You know how it is.
Man,
But apparently,
You know what
according
the-
to Q, we there's another kind of rewinder out there.
We're trying.
Oh,
We're trying to fucking lob
yeah.
a softball
Let
up
me-
for
let me
Q, and
tell
he's
you-
just
let me
not
tell you.
figured out.
No. I figured it out. It's just I'm trying to hold my angst, like because it makes me pissed off every time I think about it. All right, so back in 1998, PlayStation 1 was a popular thing, and my dad thought video games, like is just like the VHS tape. So he had like a real, he was born in 1950, so I can't really excuse him of how old he was. So he decided to buy me for my birthday a DVD rewinder.
Your birthday or your birthday? Are we gonna
My
welcome you? We're gonna welcome you to Earth.
Birthday? I mean, if I was born in April, maybe. Like, but anyway. But he brought that for my birthday, and I didn't even open the box because I knew from the concept how pointless that thing was.
So what was it called exactly? Did it literally say DVD rewinder on the box?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, how do you sell that?
So apparently they sell it very easily.
All right, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
With what?
No, you was going to say something. I thought you was going to talk. I was talking over you.
So
but anyway.
I looked it up. I looked the DVD rewinder up because Q was talking about this right before the show started.
Because we were on a discussion about what are the most well, because you said you were going down memory lane watching some of your older YouTube videos, and you had one where you were reviewing stickers. Is that what it was?
Yeah, stickers.
And you were just like, oh, I was just doing it for fun. And I was like, I think you should actually start making a line of videos where you review the most pointless shit in the world, like because Post-it notes have like small ones, big ones, colored ones.
Technically,
paper
though,
clips.
my sticker review video was like for a specific brand maker of stickers. So
Fair enough, but still.
I mean, it
funny.
wasn't just like, my kids brought home some fucking sticker booklets from the dollar store and I reviewed them, although that would be fucking awesome.
Dude, you remember those dispensers, right? Where you put like 50 cents in and you get like the shiny ones. And
Yeah.
South Park ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
Microtransactions.
But then Q drops a fucking bomb on us because he goes, oh yeah, my dad had a fucking DVD rewinder. And we both looked at him like he was fucking retarded. We're like, you mean VHS? We're like, you mean VHS, right? He's like, nah. So we both went to our phones, fucking Googled it. Fucking flabbergasted, dude. Befuddled. I am staring at a black and green little platform called a DVD rewinder. Straight up, just didn't even fucking bother making up a name.
It looks
Right.
like it's a disc cleaner is what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's basically what it looks like.
4.
Literally,
Here's
the name of it is just DVD rewinder. And I mean, you can buy a DVD rewinder T-shirt apparently for $12.
I'll
you
swear,
go
if
to-
one of you even buy a T-shirt and mail it to me, I'll fuck one of you up, like,
I
swear.
almost want to buy this. I
So it's
almost want to buy this.
DVDrewinder.com.
Like, oh man, like I mean, that to me, like it's probably my consumerist mind, but that is the stuff of nightmares.
I'm
So-
fucking stunned.
So
man.
here's the description for it on their website because it's on DVDrewinder.com's website.
oh my god, they have a website.
No!
We live in clown world.
The DVD rewinder is a novelty item only. There you go.
Well, that takes the magic away.
But now it does go into it and say digital disc media does not really need to be rewound.
Wow, thank you.
Duh.
Oh, man.
The DVD rewinder blinks and plays 2 different digital sounds while spinning a center spindle counterclockwise. The top of the DVD rewinder houses a storage compartment. That's literally all this fucking thing is.
I want to buy this now.
So now I'm curious.
It's like a pet rock, dude.
Now I'm curious, did your dad buy it for you as a fucking
As a
novelty thing? Just to like be like, yeah.
No, like he was like literally fucking serious. Like he did not know like what he bought.
No, I can totally believe that. My parents have done some shit like that before. Like, you know, like they let me see certain movies because they're like, oh yeah, he likes,
you
know, he likes Star Wars, so we'll let him watch Alien. And I'm like fucking sick. You know what I mean? But let me. God damn it!
Go ahead.
Let me tell you.
So I googled this as well, and the first thing that popped up for the DVD rewinder. I fucking can't. It's a
The
review.
load of fuck and your face went now.
This is there's a review, and it's like 3 paragraphs long.
Holy crap.
I'm going to read it for you because this is incredible.
Wait. Is it on Gizmo?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was from Reddit. It's an Amazon review. It's an Amazon review, dated July 7th, 2010.
Okay.
So about 10 years ago. So pretty close. We're almost at the like fucking 10-year anniversary of this fucking stupid thing.
Right?
Okay, so fucking shout out to Brian Wagner who left this.
Whoever the fuck he is.
5-star. This is a 5-star review. It titled "Saved My Marriage." I'm fucking gonna read the shit out of this. Okay. Oh god. Times have been tough with the misses recently. We were always fighting about every little thing. Whose turn it was to wash the dishes, who was going to mow the lawn, whether or not I was cheating on her with her sister. I was. And on the rare occasion we had the time to watch a movie together, we would fight about who would rewind the DVD. My marriage was on the brink of collapse. Enter DVD rewinder. Rewinding our movies is no longer tedious, but an enjoyable experience to share with my wife. The amazing space-age technology works like a charm, and DVDs rewind in a matter of minutes. Compared to the hours it used to take to manually spin the disc backwards thousands of times. Sure, sometimes my wife still argues that it makes more sense for me to get a job than for her to get 2. I mean, seriously, it averages out to 1 job per person either way. What's the big deal? But at the end of the day, at least we can watch glitter without an argument. DVD rewinder. I owe you my marriage and my life. That was the review, and I want you to know 33 out of 35 people found that review helpful. That dude is a fucking legend. Brian Wagner, I don't know where you are, but you are a legend, sir.
That's awesome.
Q, your stupid anecdote like just brought so much fucking joy to my life. I can't tell you. I can't even tell you.
Honestly, if I can find one of these though, I'm going to buy one. Just for my shelf, you know, just to put next to my DVDs.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost wanted to.
I can't. It's not on Amazon
I'll
anymore.
just probably listen to your audio and not even stare at your background anymore if you got down.
That's so funny. It's so funny.
I can't find it anywhere though for sale, which sucks. Oh,
well, it's
maybe
because
eBay.
it's sold out, dude. It saved a guy's marriage.
Right?
I mean, they probably sold thousands.
Guy.
It's not even on eBay. Damn.
That's funny.
All right, so.
Oh man. I think I just grew a 6-pack from laughing from all this saying like.
So
guys. Guys.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You rang.
Guys.
Don't get my attention and then just leave us hanging. Like, what are we doing here?
So some stuff happened this
Okay.
past week. A lot of shit happened
A
actually. this
lot
week.
of shit, dude.
Holy
This
shit.
week has been
Um,
bad stuff. A lot of bad stuff.
and good
Right.
stuff.
Okay stuff. So there's some okay stuff in there. A lot of bad.
So I want to start off with one thing, and I promised John in text form that a song, a live song,
a live
a
song.
live song. So I'm going to start off by singing a live song
Don't do
with
it.
the help of my mixer.
Oh man.
Okay, you ready for this,
He's supposed
guys?
to sing humble for Kendrick Lamar, isn't he?
I was practicing this like 3 times 3 times only 3 times.
All right.
And this is gonna jump into our segment. You ready?
Here we go.
Ready for this? Ready for this?
Bring it.
This moment of silence is brought to you by what the fuck?
He's taking his pants off.
Okay,
That
now
should
we're
be the
going.
slogan.
We're going 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck, Ruby Rose? What the fuck, Ruby Rose? What the fuck, Ruby Rose? We won't miss you that much.
Oh, what the fuck?
You should have said won't miss you much. That's fine.
No.
Right.
No. So, I'm sure everyone here is
Oh wait,
aware.
wait. Let me give you your due applause. There you
Right.
are.
Pat yourself on the back.
To be fair, that song was about as good as their theme song for that show.
There we go.
Dun 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 dun.
That is their theme song. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I should make their theme songs.
pretty easy. But it's so weird. Like I feel bad because it's only a couple of notes, but somehow
Yeah.
it seems really stupid, lazy, and pointless. But then you have something like Terminator 2, and it's like dun 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 dun, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's so fucking iconic.
Right.
Or even Jason's. Wow, I fucked that up already.
Yeah, how'd you fuck that up?
I can't believe I fucked that up. Because I was thinking of other shit too. Michael Myers' tune isn't.
To be fair,
very
that's a little
difficult.
more complex.
No.
Not by it's definitely more than
It's very haunting though.
Yeah,
It's
you,
very
definitely
hard.
more
remember
complex
that shit. But for people that don't know what's going on in the world of Ruby Rose
than CW.
and CW, she dropped the fuck out.
She's fucking gone.
Season
Jump off
1
that sinking shit.
ended 2 days after the finale. She dropped out. Now, there are rumors that it was a mutual dropout
I would believe that.
I can
for the most
believe
part.
from both her and the CW and
Studio or
Berlanti's
whatever.
productions and shit like that.
Right.
But of course, she's going to get the blunt end of it because she's like walking away and they don't want to say
Well,
it's
probably
mutual.
Smart.
But
It's
yeah.
probably
Right.
smart.
Yeah.
I think it was a smart move, to be completely honest.
For her to leave or for her
Yeah,
to.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
For her to leave. Yeah, absolutely. It's not. This show is not going to help her career. It's just not. And like, based on the interviews she was having, she seemed like she really did not like the production. Because you got to remember, her show started right in the midst of them trying to do one of the biggest crossovers
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So she's like, you know, we're already filming 5 nights a week for this show on top of our already like grueling, you know,
Yeah.
shoot for my show alone.
And she wasn't
then,
like she hasn't been in the industry like super long either, like to where
No.
she's
well, and especially a lot of the most action heavy shows she's ever done or movie or whatever was probably Triple X, I would say. I think she was
John
Right.
Wick.
Yeah, she was in John Wick too, but she wasn't in it that long. But like
No.
Xander Cage, she was in for a minute, and
Yeah.
then like the Meg didn't have her doing a ton of stuff. And I mean, she got fucking injured on this thing, and like somebody died on set, and like it's like that show is so not worth it.
I mean, she's like had small bits and parts in other movies. I think Triple X was probably her bigger movie role besides the Meg.
Yeah,
Which
I'd
I
probably say so.
barely remember her in the Meg.
Yeah.
Because she
Well,
was in
'cause the
the
movie's fucking
final
terrible.
chapter of Resident Evil, but she gets like butchered by a big ass fan instantly almost. And then she was in Pitch Perfect 3.
I don't even remember her in that.
Exactly. I
I
was
don't
like,
even remember that movie.
Yeah, that movie's fucking
I
terrible.
remember the movie because John Lithgow's in it.
Yeah,
that was like the best part of that fucking movie.
him trying to do an Australian accent might have been.
But
one of the
him being
funniest things.
evil is the best thing. It's like, how can you put John Lithgow playing an evil character into a comedy movie because he takes it dark every fucking time. It don't matter. There ain't no way to make that guy not look scary when he's playing evil.
I mean, remember when he was yelling at the Bigfoot on Harry and the Hendersons? I mean, it was terrifying, bro.
That wasn't him trying to be scary badass.
That's just a normal day at his house.
I mean, he used to play bad guy, like villains almost as like for the longest time until he did like Third Rock, I think it was.
Yeah,
I'd buy it.
So
Especially after watching him in Dexter, he's fucking brilliant.
oh fuck yeah.
I don't. But man, with Ruby Rose, I'm like, thank fucking Christ, she's a terrible actress. Oh my god, she's bad. But like, don't get me wrong, script and stuff is horrible.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's not like she's saving it.
But the script is horrible. However, like characters like Alice or even Luke Fox, they at least play off of what they get. You know, they're showing a little more talent.
They don't stand out as particularly terrible. Like,
right.
At least the actress who does Alice, it's like, oh man, look at you go. Like, she's trying so hard and she does all right.
I mean, she's been in the business for a long time too, so.
But I mean, then you have like Jacob Kane. It's just like, man, you know that guy can act. It's just fucking hell. He's got nothing to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the rumors are, since it's over, since she's gone, they're thinking about recasting because they say they want to move ahead with the season 2, which I'll see it when I believe it.
Berlanti's production said that they want to move on with season 2 still, and that they want to recast with another LGBTQ actress, which to me, that's a whole other story.
Sign. Always a great sign. I'm not gonna cast you based on your merits and your talent. I'm going to cast you because you like to shove this in you.
I had this conversation the other day with Tivis, I believe it was. I was just like, it doesn't make sense because, I mean, yeah, it can work out where you can find somebody, but you being cast at a job should not be based on your sexual orientation. They cast Neil Patrick Harris as the straight dude who like banged every chick in the world in How I Met Your Mother, and that was freaking awesome.
I mean, the whole thing is just
it's crazy.
It's affirmative action hires, man. That's
right.
all it is.
Now
I personally just find it flat out distasteful.
I think that they're doing it. They're trying to do it because they actually landed a decent actor when they cast the role for Dreamer on Supergirl. The one trans actor there that plays Dreamer, like that person, she can actually act.
Yeah,
like I've seen her range on that show. She acts better than the lead sometimes. Yeah. So it's like, you know, but you're not always going to get that with every actor just hiring them based off of their orientation or, you know, shit like that.
Well, I just find it to be condescending.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Right, and also it's just
interesting
just flat out disrespectful because like if I'm going to watch Batwoman, you know, I'm not giving a fuck about what side she's on sexually. I want to give a fuck about the character, Batwoman.
Yeah. The funny thing,
I was like, can I like the characters? I don't care about the actors. I want the actor to do a good job as the character.
Yeah.
And that was also the problem with me about Captain Marvel. It's like, I want to see Danvers in Captain Marvel, not your reasons of politics. I don't really give a fuck.
You don't really see them do that in the movies because they cast Ewan McGregor to play the gay Black Mask. Like, come on.
Right. So it's just like, it's just personally like leave that, that identity or politics or anything like that of your acting career outside of what the show is trying to tell us.
Yeah.
This ruins the movie.
Yeah.
They're just trying to placate to the wrong crowd. These like fucking lefty SJW alphabet loving people, it's like, who want to just virtue signal. They infect everything and then they just move on to the next thing. They don't care about this stuff. And it's like, I mean, because you bring up Ewan McGregor and Black Mask is gay or whatever, but it's like, no, that shit still happens, man. Like Scarlett Johansson dropped out because she was going to play a transgendered character.
That's because they attacked her.
But they got all pissed off, so she quit.
Yeah.
And it's like, when shit like that happens, that's when the studios are going to start making it almost mandatory to hire specific people to
which they're going to be
roles.
very limited on then when they're going, well, maybe not. But
your talent pool but
the talent,
regardless of whether or not that you can go out and find them, does not eliminate the fact that your talent pool has now been completely reduced,
Right.
like tenfold.
Right.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd already make the argument for Hollywood doing that shit already because of like the nepotism that they already have, the circle jerk. Like, it's so hard to find these new actors because all the roles keep going to the same people, just because people worry about star power.
Well, it'll
I
be
agree.
interesting to see what they do. I thought of like 2 actresses that could take the role, but one, they would never do a fucking CW show because they're more like indie style actresses anyways. They don't
Bigger
they're-
names.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Well, they are.
I know the names you're about to throw me. They're
People
bigger names,
know
dude.
them, but
They're bigger names.
They're not like super huge. They're more indie
Okay,
guys.
now fucking say the name
Okay.
because you're gonna sound like an idiot in about
Yeah,
2 seconds.
you're already here.
Okay, so the first one was Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, Q. She's not really well known. She was only in fucking Twilight, which was considered one of the biggest fucking franchises.
And come on,
for, like,
how
a
awesome
decade.
would it be to have Kristen Stewart as Batwoman and then Robert Pattinson as
Would
Batman
she
in
be
the same
Ricky
year?
Face the whole time with the outfit on?
I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be any different than Ruby Rose.
Dude, honestly, I think whoever they get next should decide to keep the cowl on more, because she was taking the fucking mask off everywhere.
I couldn't believe that.
Everywhere. I was
But
like,
to be-
when
but
have
to
you
be
ever
fair-
seen Batman just take his mask off in the middle of a fight?
But to be fair, Marvel does that shit all the time. That's why they started
that's
going
Marvel.
to the fucking. But that's why they started going to that fucking like bullshit CGI masks, so they could just take it off constantly, so you could see the actor. It's like, I'm not here for the fucking actor. I'm
Right?
here.
Give me the damn character.
God damn it! It's like, I don't know. The other one is the one I threw out as a big joke was Amber Heard.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw you say that.
Oh.
I thought that'd be. I was like,
No.
oh shit, too
No,
soon.
The other one that was well, there's 2 others. One is actually a decent fit for the role, but she's not in the LGBTQ community. But the other one, I think Cara Delevingne, but she has her own fucking show anyway. She ain't leaving that shit to go to CW.
I don't think she's a particularly good actress either. So
But
who's
what
that?
I'm saying is these girls would fit that role to kind of like morph it in where you don't realize the actress was changed, you know?
But why even bother trying that? Like, it's
I
at a
mean,
point where it's like
They
this
did
is
it
a good
on
chance
Fresh
for the
Prince
reset.
of Bel-Air. They did it on Roseanne.
But that wasn't the main character. It was the mom.
Yeah.
Like,
But the other one who could fit into the role, into the CW crowd and everything like that, same age even as what's her face, Ruby Rose, is Ryan Reynolds' chick, Blake Lively.
oh, man, she was already with CW once, but
Was she?
yeah, Gossip Girl, dude.
Oh yeah, I
come
don't
on.
fucking know
Come on
that
now.
show.
That's how she got famous. I would say this is a
I
perfect.
thought it was
chance to-
accepted.
This is a perfect chance to be fucking hell. She was unaccepted.
Yeah, she was Justin Long's love interest. It was really awkward for them too because he was like in his like 20-sums and she was like underage and they had to do those scenes and shit where they were
Huh,
kissing
why
and
do I
stuff.
don't remember that. I actually really liked that film.
It's such a good
It
movie.
was like the first time I ever saw Jonah Hill.
It was the first time I wanted to start my own school.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is a good time for the reset button. Fucking hell. It sucks that it's so far past Crisis because then you could have
Right.
played with that a little bit. But,
Right.
Yeah. But,
Um,
all right, go ahead.
my main issue is like fucking why even bother? Just cancel the show or just rebrand it. Have her die. We open up on the second season because she died. Because you could just put a girl in the costume. She died, like opens up, like trying to thwart something, dies, and then fucking cool Luke Fox shows up and he
Right.
becomes Batwing, and now we just watch Batwing.
Yeah. I would totally watch a Batwing show. But that would be 2 black guys running their own superhero shows on CW and they don't want that.
But I want the cool Luke Fox from
Hey, the
Crisis,
Wayans- hey,
not the cake baker.
I was about to say the Wayans brothers were.
I love the Wayans
Yeah,
brothers.
but they already. But see, here's how the CW is.
Brothers,
The CW
they're happy
has.
to sing it every color.
But no, they have their their straight white dude over here. They have their straight white girl here. They wanted the lesbian chick, and then they have their one. I think he's like the only one black superhero they have left on their network now, besides Martian Manhunter. Because they freaking Supergirl phased out Jimmy Olsen off of the show.
Man, I missed a lot.
So I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Damn.
Echo Kellum left Arrow years ago, so
Yeah. And
So Mr.
they're not
Terrific,
really
probably the most underused actor in that fucking show. It was terrible what they did with him. That shit that's fucked.
Wait, which one?
The guy who played Mr. Terrific. It was
Oh
Echo
yeah.
Kellum.
Yeah.
I was like,
Which
man,
he could have transformed over to Batwoman if they would have, done something else with him.
What?
Like they could have utilized him
actor
in
or the character?
Batwoman, the character, Mr. Terrific.
Oh yeah.
In and him and Luke Fox hit it off or some shit. I don't fucking know. I'm not the bad writer here. They are.
I don't know. The show's fucking terrible. I was like, just scrap it, dude. Don't even bother. I was like, just move on.
Just let it die.
I suggested that kind of like either just kill her off because they kind of like leave it on the cliffhanger that they're trying to kill her anyways in this season, in the season finale. You can clearly tell they cut everything short on every season finale this year. But then I suggested either you kill her off or you have her go into hiding. Luke Fox
just like
builds up.
Batman. Great.
Yeah.
Right.
Luke Fox builds up. She comes back, and it's a different actress, but we just play it off like Rhodey style, War Machine style. But like, yeah, it's me, whatever. I'm here. Okay.
I'd say
It's
Kill
your
her-
boy. I mean,
kill her off and have the Pennyworth girl do it.
Yes, that's what. Is she Alfred's niece
Daughter.
or daughter? She's his daughter.
I think it's daughter.
I was confused on that one.
She was niece in Batman and Robin. I don't
That's what
know
it was.
if she's daughter in this one or not.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I guess we'll have to watch the Pennyworth show on Epix to find
shit.
out.
I heard it's pretty good. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I've heard it's good.
as a matter of fact, speaking of DC and Warner Bros., like WB has been god awful busy for the past 2 months.
They're all that's in the news, bro. They're the
Right.
only company that's actually making headlines right now.
I need to know.
Uh-oh.
I want to go back and listen
I wanna
to
go
some
back.
podcasts, but I don't want to listen to my
Way
stupid
back.
voice anymore. I cannot remember if I was one of the people that said the Zack Snyder cut would never happen.
Yeah, you are.
did.
You did.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
did.
Because I'm eating crow right now. And second, I go,
You have my sympathy, by the way.
but I still will stick by it. It will be better than what we got, I think, but it's still gonna be trash.
Okay.
That's the position I will always hold.
I need to do this just one more time, John, because John said that. He also said that they would not do a crossover between the movies and the CW shows, and they
with
did
the Flash.
that too with Flash.
Which
I
is-
mean, is a bad thing now with what
Yeah,
happened,
right?
but still.
I was just like, it just seemed like a stupid thing to do. And it was like, oh, they did it. They fucking did it.
Come on.
And then ironically ended up being one of the only like redeeming portions of that entire crossover. It was like,
No, the
Alright.
best thing of the crossover is 90s Flash finally getting a good send-off.
that
He
was
got a
dope.
better send-off than fucking Arrow, and it was Arrow's universe.
Oh, he's still fucking bitter about that shit. That dude, Stephen Amell has not had any
Yeah.
problems talking about how much he hates the executives and shit over at CW right now. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, man.
funny.
Yeah. So,
Pretty funny.
what are your guys' thoughts on the Snyder Cut? It's going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So
Because they are
but they're
owned by Warner Media.
but they're not launching it with that. It's not going to be on there right cuz HBO Max launches on the 27th of May.
oh, I thought it was already out.
No, it hasn't launched yet. So the movie or show, because I heard that might get split up into like a series.
Yeah.
Because it's like so long, it's like a 3-hour movie or some shit like
Which
that.
I'd be like, eat
I
my
mean, so was
fucking-
Alexander.
I'd be like, eat my ass. Just fucking put the movie out.
Well, no, I'd say
Right.
if they do that, hopefully they drop it all at once so you can literally watch it like a movie.
But it's a movie. Watch it like a movie. It is a fucking movie.
I
That's why I'm
understand that.
annoyed.
But
like
they're
what you're telling me right now, I've
supposedly
never heard it. It's making me more annoyed.
They're in
Like revising a Bible.
right,
Like-
but they're in post and they're editing it to one be his full vision, but two possibly be a show. At least it's rumored that might happen. I'm not sure if that's 100%.
I'm hearing it's costing about $20 million for him to cut it the way he wants. With
Good.
all the footage and
Why
stuff.
not?
Which I'm like, at least that means they're actually like
Trying.
putting a little effort into it.
Also,
here-
what I was gonna say earlier to Quinn, before you came in and we started and everything, the
Right.
thing it's smart for them to do is like literally no one is shooting anything right now. They have all this footage. Why the fuck not mess with it and put out new content, quote unquote new content? You know.
Well, and because of the way he stepped down, it was like a huge like personal tragedy.
Yeah.
And the circumstances were pretty shit. And it's like the movie they turned out was garbage. It was it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. And I promise you I'm not being hyperbolic. It is
For
very
Justice
trash.
League, right? Is that what
Yeah.
we're talking about, right?
And trust me, I like me some Joss Whedon, but fucking hell, Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder do not have the same tone in any way. So you have like his quirky group fun dialogue, and then you're mixing it in with this somber, brooding, up his own ass dialogue from Zack Snyder,
Right.
and they don't mesh.
Well, from what I heard, there was a ton of reshoots.
Oh yeah, they said
wasn't
they
just a
shot at least 50% of the film.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
When they were only supposed to go in and just like do like a couple tweaks here and there, Joss Whedon like got to them apparently, or they got to Joss, and they were just like redo this whole fucking movie almost.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, the guy made fucking 2 Avengers films that like knocked it out of the park. Like, say what you will about Age of Ultron, but it still did well.
Yeah.
And I still find that movie to be a little overly hated. Don't get me wrong, Ultron himself is fucking trash, but like, there's a lot of good stuff in that film.
At this
again,
point, you know, it's
Again, I will hold the position that it will be nice to see a fleshed out one singular vision, but I don't like Zack Snyder's DC vision. I don't like it at all, but at least it'll be coherent all the way through for the most part.
right.
So it'll be better than what we got, I'm assuming, but it's still going to be shit. And novel idea here. Why don't we just put it on DC Universe? You already have a DC app. I fucking hate.
I think they're going to end up phasing DC Universe out with HBO coming out, because HBO's getting almost every Warner Brothers DC title. That's where they're putting new DC content as well. They're spreading their shit out everywhere.
Well, jeez.
What the hell
Turn
is
off your
that?
monster truck, Q. Fucking hell.
Right. Yeah.
I do hope though. Don't get me wrong. I don't really care about the DC Universe app that much. I've really only been watching the Harley Quinn cartoon, which is starting to go woke, and I hate it now. So they got me for a season, and then I liked a couple of episodes, and now they're doing stupid pandering shit that I'm not super pumped about. And so I'm pretty much.
Are you
gonna
talking
give up
about
on the app.
Harlivy?
Yeah. Well, because everybody kind of knew that was going to happen, which I
Yeah.
was totally fine with in the beginning, because it's always been kind of alluded to in
Right.
more recent comics, and
Well,
there was always a little bit of a back and forth in cartoons, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the problem is they did a thing that I've bitched about in multiple shows. They did it in Scrubs once. They did it in that 70s show. They did it in How I Met Your Mother. This idea that, they did it in The Flash, where you bring in a love interest for a character that's way better than what your end game is going to be. And the problem is the whole reason why I fell in love with this show is the relationship with Ivy and Kite Man. It's fucking hilarious, dude. It's so funny. And they're fiance now. They're like, he proposed to her and she said yes.
They didn't cancel that out though, did they? like
No,
their
but the whole
relationship.
thing is that they kiss each other after like this. I've read up on the episode that's coming out or has already come out, and they kiss after this big explosion, just kind of like a like, oh my god, we're alive, and then they kiss each other, and I go, that's so not cool, because people are fucking praising it like, oh, this is amazing. It's like she cheated on her fucking fiance, who's like a really good dude, like the entire show. So I go, I'm fine with the element, but you already established this other thing, and people are just kind of cool with adultery all of a sudden. And I go, this is the kind of people that you pander to, and they think this shit's okay. And it's really annoying.
Right.
And it sets a really bad precedent going down the road. And
wow, I didn't think
I
we'd
don't know.
ever talk about adultery on this show.
It's
With
just
using that
annoying.
term.
It's just annoying to me.
Yeah.
Like, because it's the same stuff you see in SJW writing. You see it in Batwoman, where it's like, well, I'm gay, therefore I can almost kill a trainload of people and get away with it. And then, like, the chick has the audacity to be pissed off because she got community service. It's like, bitch, you should be in jail right now.
Right.
And, like, but people watching it go, no, that's totally okay. I've been, persecuted for being gay. Therefore, I can blow up a building and it's fine. It's like, you're psychos. You're all insane.
I mean,
It's interesting. We're trying to make double standards out of violence.
It's fucking crazy, man. And people just think it's like Raylo fans. It's like, man, you guys just love abusive relationships.
and
It's
incest.
kind of remind me of the reference from Metal Gear Solid, from old Solid Snake himself saying, hero or villain, a kill's a kill.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, but it's a perfect example of, again, you're pandering to an audience that doesn't give a shit about your work. It's like real comic book fans, and I'm going to gatekeep the fuck out of here. I don't even care. Real fans.
Hold on, let me turn on my volume real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Real comic book fans look at Joker and Harley and go, man, that's a fucked up relationship. Stupid normies go, hashtag Harley Joker goals, relationship goals.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are fucking insane.
Like I don't think they got that story.
It's like, man, you guys
Did you watch that?
All right.
Man,
I mean,
I invite John. I invite you to come to Toledo, especially East Toledo, who's hardcore
Oh god.
Harley Quinn fans.
Yeah.
That actually has that statement of being in a relationship with the Joker. I mean,
Dude, you see it fucking everywhere.
I will wholeheartedly make a podium
Except
on
in-
front and main.
Except in
for you to
Toledo,
make this,
in
mistake.
Toledo, they're Harley Quinn fans who aren't in love with the Joker but juggalos.
Yeah. Fucking running around drinking Faygo.
No offense to my juggalos out there. I love ICP, but still, it's the truth.
You're not wrong. Like
Nothing wrong with being a little self-aware. It's just fucking annoying. And like I said, I really liked that cartoon. I thought it was I thought it was really well done. And then you could just start seeing like things getting lazy, like people would get stabbed with stuff and like
Well, did they rush? I feel they rushed the second season.
Oh yeah, totally. Because I mean, there was a trap episode where they were like, they brought in Catwoman, and Black, totally fine. I didn't care. And there was this really cool hint at the idea that Poison Ivy and Selena Kyle kind of had a thing for a bit, which it was this weird like, Selena was like this like altruistic, like could never do wrong character in Poison Ivy's eyes. And so like when she showed up, Poison Ivy kind of regressed to this like girlfriend who's like, oh my God, you're so great. Oh yeah. Oh, do you think I really like that jacket. Should I get a jacket like that? I should totally get a jacket like, and you see her regress to this like, clingy girlfriend. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And you're planting the seed that, oh, maybe she's bisexual. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, you're doing really nice, nuanced stuff, character building. But the problem is that when you start that, it's like, oh, I know what you're doing.
Right.
And I would have been fine with the Harley Ivy thing if you didn't introduce Kite Man. And it's like, now you're creating this terrible, and it didn't even look like they're making a love triangle. They're just like going, fuck him. And it's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Show? Could you not? And then speaking of things that also didn't age well, they made fun of Star Wars and released the Snyder Cut fans. They had a guy wearing a release the Snyder Cut TV t-shirt, and they like made fun of him, and then boom, like fucking 1 month later, get fucking shit on.
Oh, maybe
That was pretty funny.
they were just trying to be, you know, I don't know.
Just trying to be funny, but
Trying to be.
but if you know if the DC app
So
gets fucking phased out, I do hope they keep one thing about it that I thought was really like
fucking comic books.
Yeah, well, going like future seeing, like they were really clever where like you'd watch an episode of a show, right? Like I totally bought it mostly to watch the Harley Quinn show, but then I ran through like the first season of the Batman animated series from the 90s.
Right.
Pretty much pinnacle Batman. And when you'd finish an episode, they would give you a recommendation for a digital comic that had something to pertain to that episode. And I thought that was really fucking clever. And I was like, I really hope they keep that, at least if like HBO Max and DC get like mixed together.
Right.
I thought that was really
I think, well, okay, so we'll get back to the Snyder Cut because there's some shit that'd be kind of cool for it. But, well, actually, I think we've busted through unless Q has some stuff to say. But with the DC Universe app, which they're, well, actually, let's just do this because what I have can go into a whole nother thing. So, Q, did you want to say anything else about the Snyder Cut or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So with respects to the DC Universe app, like I enjoy it because it's one-stop shop for all my DC shit, like animated, all that stuff, and all the comics. You get all their backlogs, everything, which is so freaking awesome. Something that fucking Disney will never do for Marvel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And if they do, it'll
Such
be
a
way
missed
too late.
opportunity.
Yeah. And then so with that, they're starting to take. We talked about this last week, I think. Swamp Thing is going to CW for like the summer for the first season, just to air it. Hopefully, it gets some traction.
Did that get canceled from DCEU?
They
Fuck
canceled
yeah,
it before it even dropped, bro. They canceled it before it dropped. They put it on DC app, and then now they're putting it on CW just to see if there's hit and miss, and to get some content for the.
Which everybody
the time
laughed
log.
because like it was almost unanimous. Anybody who watched Swamp Thing said was like,
It was a fucking awesome.
best DC show that's come out. It was really dark and creepy and scary. And then they're like, oh yeah, fucking cancel.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
Well, then they did Stargirl for the DC app. They put it on. They're starting it on CW, but they're also putting it on the app. And the difference between the two, at the same time. So if it's on CW, it's already on the app now. Now you get an extra, like, at least from the first episode, there's an extra 10 minutes of the episode on the app, how it was shot.
That's bullshit, by the way.
So CW cuts it down 10 minutes out because to fit their time frame of the 40 some minutes or whatever. So if you want to watch the full actual episode as it was shot by the creators, you have to use the app.
That's fucking horseshit.
So I'm assuming that's what's going to happen with the Swamp Thing show too. When they drop it, is they're going to cut stuff to make it fit the time slot of an hour time slot. But I was like, it's kind of smart for like the diehard fans that really want to see like all the content. They're going to end up getting the app because they're getting a sneak peek or whatever. But it also hurts you because it's like, there's a lot of people that aren't just going to go and get the fucking app for 10 minutes of extra show footage, you know?
Well, and people aren't gonna pay for 10 different apps, dude. They're just not gonna do it. No. I just canceled my Netflix. I'm over that shit now.
It's one thing that it's good that how DC does their stuff. They spread their content out. I mean, they have freaking HBO Max is coming out. They got the DC app. They put all their CW shit on Netflix a week after it airs. They have that Pennyworth show was on Epic, so they're spread out everywhere. And their thought process is, you know, the more you're spread out, the more viewership you'll possibly get. But I don't think they're thinking that through with like, that's like 500 apps I have to get just to watch everything DC if I want to watch it all DC. Mm-hmm. So what they should do is make sure, you know, do that. Have your content everywhere, but still have your DC content in the DC universe and just jack the price up a little bit more. Because it's not that much right now anyways. It's actually relatively cheap for...
I think it's like $10 or something.
Yeah. but you get all their issues too. Like for actual, like the DC app should be for comic book fans. Like that's what it is built for, more so.
Yeah, I could give you that.
So just take all your content, your Green Lantern show, your Dark Justice League show that they're planning on doing, pop it on the app. Like give it like 2 weeks after it's been on HBO Max, something like that.
It's the new thing where I've kind of given up because I'm like, I love what they're trying to sell me, but then you realize you're like, I don't have fucking time to watch all this shit. It's really cool. It's all there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch it all. And then Netflix, you find yourself spending more time deciding a movie than watching a movie. It's like it's an even worse version of going to an actual movie rental place, because at least you're like in the building. You're like, okay, no, we need to make a call, like we need to go home. But with Netflix, you're like, oh, well, I'm already here, fuck it, let's see if there's something new.
With Netflix, I try and just do like original content on Netflix from now on, because I'm like, I don't have time to look through all this other shit, and then I get yelled at for like sitting there for an hour looking for something. Yeah. And I find like a 2-hour movie, and then it's an hour later already when I start the damn thing. So it's like,
and then my last straw was like seeing that they started editing down movies. Like
really?
They cut some stuff from Back to the Future 2.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
And I go, oh, I'm out. I'm done. Like I already like don't watch certain shows because of the way that they altered them. Like I won't watch Scrubs because they couldn't get music licenses for a lot of the episodes, and it's like, why am I fucking paying all this money a month for mediocre versions of the things I wanted? I'm just gonna buy physical media and keep it for the rest of my life.
Does Disney own Scrubs now? Is that what that is?
I believe. Well, yeah. Yes and no. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
They did when they were airing the last 2 seasons on ABC, but I don't know if they let that lapse. But it's not even so much like that. It's the licensing for the music.
Right. No, I understand what you're talking about, but I'm like, Disney should be able to just like fucking get the damn licensing again.
You would think, right? But no, I told Hannah, I go, fuck it, man. We have so many movies that we haven't watched in decades, or we haven't watched together before, or
Right.
Because we brought out. My mom came up to visit the other day, and we made her watch Tropic Thunder.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't believe she hadn't seen it. I was like, Mom, you're watching this right now. She laughed her fucking ass off. She goes, I can't believe I'm watching Robert Downey Jr. in blackface right now. I'm like, Mom, you're watching fucking Iron Man right now. Be a fucking lunatic. And she didn't even know that Lex Grossman was Tom Cruise until the 3rd season, and we told her that it was him.
Man, he worked the fuck out of that film, man.
Oh,
dude, it's so funny. And I forgot that Bill Hader's in it. I forgot about that. And she's like, is that fucking Nick Nolte? I was like, yep.
Rubber down. Oh.
Fucking film was hilarious. But no, we've gotten kind of pissy with all streaming services lately. So we're just like, fuck it. We just canceled all of them. And we're like, every month, let's take the $10 that we would have spent on Netflix or something, and we buy a movie that we don't have, that we want. We want
that you'll enjoy more too.
Yeah, well, and we'll have it forever. It's
right.
It won't be taken off, or because we just bought the Parks and Rec full box set. We bought it for $40, and I'm like, that's 4 months of Netflix. That's it.
Now, weren't you watching Schitt's Creek though on Netflix?
Yeah, but I mean, that just finished, so I'm sure a box set's going to be made in the next 3 months. So let's just hold off 3 months, and I'll just buy all 6 seasons, because they're only 10 or 11 episodes a season. So I don't imagine the box set's going to be more than $30.
Right.
So, we bought the Roseanne one, and it's changing discs and shit is hard, especially if you don't have a DVD rewinder. But,
I need to get a callback sound button.
And I'll have it forever. And I can burn them too. And then I can burn them and have a backup in case I scratch it or something.
Yeah. And you can even digitalize it if you want, a digital version, put it on a hard drive, pop your hard drive into your TV and shit like that. Yeah. That's what we do.
It's just the convenience is starting to not be as convenient, if that makes sense. I mean, the original stuff is cool, but 90% of the time I've been really underwhelmed. I didn't like The Witcher at all. And, there's a few other things. I just can't be fucked. And they're all going to get DVD releases anyway.
And sometimes it's why, if you're watching, say, if you just watch Glow,
exactly.
if that's it, get it for 1 month, cancel it after that month after you've watched it, when it drops. And they make it easy to do that at the moment with most shows because they drop them all at once.
Yep.
It's not like a DC app where you have to have the damn thing for 6 months to watch the whole show or something, you know?
Oh, shit.
Which is nice. So, yeah.
Which, it's funny that you brought up Glow.
Glow.
I'm going to bring it down a little bit.
Oh, wait. First, Q, do you know what Glow is?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Gorgeous Lazy the wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. And so they made a TV show or a Netflix series out of it.
Yeah.
And apparently the director, Lynn Shelton, died last week.
Word?
Oh, really?
Yeah, age
Yo.
54. She directed episodes of like Mad Men, Master of None, Love, Hump Day. Apparently just really, really well known. And yeah, she died.
I didn't even know about Batman.
Yeah, they're saying just complications. I guess she had like some weird blood disease, and yeah, just out of nowhere. So it was really sad. Like you saw like people. She's apparently worked with tons of people, so that was kind of a bummer. And then you lost Fred Willard. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah, no, I knew him.
Prominent character actor. I love him. I mean, him and Eugene Levy were like in everything, and like,
Right.
he was funny in that '70s show. He's been on like Modern I mean, the dude's been on everything. He's fucking hysterical, and yeah, he just died the other day. And then I imagine, Michael, you probably heard of a pretty prominent death that happened in the last few days from the WWE world.
Oh, which one? No.
I forgot his last name, but he was one half of Crime Time.
Oh yeah, they actually just finally called off the search for him.
Yeah, found him yesterday dead.
Did they actually find his body?
Yeah.
Yeah, he found his body. It's official.
Shad Gaspard.
Yeah.
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 There we go.
Yeah, apparently I didn't know this. He was the character. They used his body as the character model for Kratos in the last.
Yes, dude,
last God of War
that
game.
dude, that tripped me the hell out
Yeah.
when I realized that this morning because somebody shared that to me on my timeline.
But yeah, I didn't know him. I didn't watch any WWE stuff with him, and but fucking legend, dude. The guy,
Right.
he saved his son. That's why. Like I guess
Yeah,
they got stuck in like a riptide or something.
They were out
Yeah.
yeah,
At the
swimming.
beach.
Yeah.
That's
Save him out of the current.
fucking crazy sad news, dude. It was a fucking weird week, man.
There's
Man,
there's
it
a
was
lot
sad,
of
but it was respect. Mad respect, man.
yeah.
Like, he died honorably.
I
That's
mean,
like fucking saving your kid, dude.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a more badass way to go out. Like,
Right.
fucking kudos. So, fucking condolences to everybody. Lost a lot of really productive, cool people, and it's super fucking
Yeah.
bummer as always. So
I feel that because there are a lot of quote unquote celebrity or pop culture deaths lately. We just need to have like a death segment. Like,
well, I
honestly,
mean,
like
a lot
lots
of it's. I think. Well, and I think it's just. I mean, those were relatively
Yeah.
untimely. Like, but Fred
Oh,
Willard
yeah.
is older guy, and I mean, it was like what happened. Was it 2016? I think when we were bitching, like it was literally like we were trying to get out of that year because we were like, "Fuck,
Oh man, it was
don't
it
you
was
take
a
Betty White?"
playlist of
Yeah.
deaths during that time.
yeah.
Like people were memeing, like, "Swear to God, we fucking better get out of here." But don't you touch Betty White 2016?
Or don't touch Stan Lee, and here goes a few years later.
Yeah.
Yep. So I
Yeah.
mean, but you got to remember, it's like all these prominent names are they're just getting up there now. It's just all the people we know, and it just makes sense. It's just like, damn, it just sucks because I'm like, like when Jim Henson went, and like, God, I can't even imagine the people I'm thinking about now that it's just going to be a couple of years from now, and you're just like, oh man,
If that,
please don't.
dude. If
Can you
even
just
a
roll
couple of
over,
years.
please?
Right, and especially like how Kobe died back in February, I believe.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man. And it's just like it's interesting to see like how
Oh, we didn't talk
these can potentially affect things. Like,
about
it's-
Jerry Stiller's death.
yeah,
Right,
that
right.
fuck came out of nowhere too, and like
He was yeah.
He's fucking that guy is also
That was
hilarious.
on. That was like a week ago. No, I don't even know what today is.
It
Honestly,
was probably a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
it was a little fucked because like some people were screaming Serenity now as soon as he died.
they were what?
Nah, it's like,
What were they doing?
Screaming Serenity now
Oh,
from Seinfeld.
yeah.
oh yeah. Nah, I actually I always remember him from Heavyweights. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
I consider one of the most underrated, underappreciated Ben Stiller films
Yeah.
ever made. It's so fucking good. That's like early Judd Apatow, man. This is good shit.
I think Judd Apatow helped produce that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
believe he helped write it too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was it's good shit. I don't know.
Radio.
Well, now let's get it back to somewhere happy.
Yeah, let's talk about rewinding our DVDs one more time.
Rewind the DVDs. Actually, speaking of rewinding,
Ooh.
because you had brought up the wrestler's death, another wrestler didn't die, but she is wanting to take the mantle of the Batwoman. Sonya Deville.
Oh, nice.
She was
That's
the
a good.
first.
She would be a great pick.
Yeah, she's like.
To be honest.
I think she was the first open.
Is she related
lesbian.
to Cruella or?
Yes, she is. No, that's her stage name, dude.
Gotcha.
Daria Baronato, I think is how you pronounce her
Excuse me?
name.
Gesundheit.
But she was the first
Sounds
open
like a weird-ass
lesbian on wrestling on WWE, I should say, in WWE. So, yeah, she wants to take it, and actually, she has the build to be a superhero. So
Probably better than fucking 120-pound fucking Ruby Rose.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of cool to see that happen.
Right.
In other wrestling news, though, fucking Vince McMahon cannot like get a break for anything lately, dude.
Oh man.
That poor guy, man. He is getting shit everywhere, and there's other wrestlers keep coming out with like stories and stuff. Oh, it's horrible. One of the big ones is one of the Bella twins. I think it was Nikki Bella, who was formerly engaged to John Cena. She does the Divas show and all that stuff. Came out in like an interview or a book she wrote or something. I don't remember exactly where it was. That she was injured and she was going to go to the hospital, but the medical staff on site, that is WWE Medical's team, told her, "No, you're fine. You'll be fine. You don't need these exams. You'll be fine."
Wow, get fucked.
Or X-rays or whatever they were. So, yeah. But of course, that I would hear that and be like, okay, that's on the medical team. Most of the world's like, oh, that's Vince McMahon's fucking problem right there. Like that's on him. He's such a bad guy. This dude.
Like as much as I've watched the Dark Side of the Ring,
Yeah.
WWE has like the worst medical team.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
like,
another
I just
thing
recently
is
watched. The last one I just recently watched was the death of Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to that guy.
and that one does not paint the WWE in a good light either with how they treated his wife and the rest of his family. Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that medical team don't give a fuck.
They don't care. They don't. I mean, you know, if somebody gets hurt, they're not the ones that get sued. The company does.
Right.
If that, because I think they also sign waivers, probably. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. With today's squad.
Because I mean, you look at Bret Hart. Bret Hart lost his career because Goldberg doesn't know how to fucking wrestle, right? Sorry, John. I know he's your buddy.
I like Goldberg.
But Goldberg hurts a lot of wrestlers because he doesn't know how to. I don't want to say he doesn't know how to wrestle, but he's just a lot more rough.
Good. Weed the herd. Weaklings.
Yeah, when you're in a wrestling ring, you're supposed to take
Is this
care of
even
your
here?
opponent, not fucking kill them.
Isn't Brock Lesnar kind of infamous for that too?
No.
I thought they bitched
No.
about him doing that. Guys, I was going through my notes
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
what's up?
What the fuck?
Because I wanted to start preparing in case I ended up on this podcast with these guys talking about Black Panther.
Uh-oh.
I literally just made a note that just yells, "They make lasers for spears," and that was because that's why Black Panther was so bad that in Infinity War they had to
Fuck Black Panther and that PlayStation 2 graphics.
Dude, that ending fight is atrocious. I go, Black Panther was so bad because they realized that the spears were so fucking dumb that in Infinity War they had to retcon them to shoot lasers.
They also got rid of the rhinos.
They fucking farm rhinos. Like, to be fair, you know what that was. That was just like producers going like, what would be like Africa-y? Like, rhinos, that's it.
War
to be fair though, it
rhinos.
would be cool to see them all armored up and shit. But then I remember there was a guy on YouTube, JXE, and he was like trying to like make that okay. Like he was trying to defend that, and he goes, "I'm sure they produce a lot of meat, and you could probably, I'm sure you could milk them. Fucking milk a rhino."
You can milk
This is like
anything with
rhinovirus.
nipples.
Oh,
A rhino. But I was like, but then you just Google search. It's like their meat's not like, you just don't eat their meat because it's bad, and their like milk is like 90% water. So it's like, an easy Google search would have been like, man, why are people so desperate to make a shitty film good? And I'm just like, it's like, well, you just don't like. I'm like, no, fucking. The reason why I don't like it is because he was fucking cool as shit in Civil War, and I'm pissed off that they didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Sorry, again, I always go back to that. That film is so disappointing.
I remember going the first day it came out, like, especially for being a black guy in a theater that was loaded with more black people.
Yeah.
And you see a sign that says, like they were going to freaking crack people down because they were bringing in backpacks. I was like, what some anal function is that? But that's just me speaking on culture. But with the movie also itself, they coming out, it's like, dude, that movie was like the best movie ever. And here I am, but straight skeptical as fuck. I was like, no, it wasn't.
Oh, dude, and I was like the other way. I walked out like fucking like hands in the air, dude. I was like, fucking hell, this movie's awesome. I went with like my friends and everybody's cheering, having a good time. And I was like, yeah, this fucking film was great. I bought it like the day it came out and like showed it to my girlfriend's dad, and we all watched it with her family and stuff. They fell asleep. And then I watched it with my mom, who I take her to every superhero film. Like she wants to see every new one that comes out. Fucking fell asleep. And I go, what the fuck? Why is everybody falling asleep? And I go, well, the movie is kind of long. It's like 2 hours. And I'm like, okay, it's a little long. But then you're like, well, because all the good shit just kind of starts at the beginning and then ends. And it's like, oh, the fight at the end is really stupid. Fucking Killmonger's not even in the film for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then they kill Claw. I'm like, oh, this fucking film is retarded. I hate it. And I got, like I said, I could bitch about it all day. It's just because it was disappointing. That's all.
Right.
Like Captain Marvel, I don't give a fucking toss. It's just a terrible film.
Well, they
I
try
knew it was gonna be terrible.
they try
I knew
and
it was gonna
put
be terrible.
That's why I said the less we talk about that, the better.
I just hate that they try and put Killmonger on the same pedestal of villain as like Loki and Thanos.
Or Thanos and shit. It's
Thanos. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's so sympathetic. I'm like, no, he's not. Like he's
No,
kind of a piece of shit.
It's like he's just a realist, but that doesn't make him a great villain.
He's part of like the victim culture stuff. That's what it is. That's his character.
Yeah.
His character is portraying the victim culture, and then you have Black Panther portraying, the consciousness of everything else.
Well,
and
it's
it's
just like,
like,
oh yeah, but you saw what happened. His parents got killed. I'm like, yeah, Batman.
right.
Like, try again. Like, yeah, he's supposed to be he's supposed to be the antithesis of like what happens when the hero goes dark instead of going to light. And it's like, okay, this is cool, but he's not empathetic. He's not sympathetic, because then he's like, I'm gonna kill everyone, women and children.
and
it's like,
children.
oh,
Right.
yeah. Once you gave him that line, I was like, he's done. He's no longer like, his motivations are fucked.
Right.
So
A lot of his motivations were just kind of fucked in the first place, because like of the places he was getting his like thought process from was just wrong.
Well, and you could cut out about an hour of that film easy, because the whole plot with him and Claw is just retarded. It's all stupid. It's like, So what? Because he dropped off the body of Claw because he thought that would like gain him service into the country, and it's like,
Why not
okay,
do
they
that in the
still
first
looked at him
place?
like, nah, we're not letting you, and like, fuck off. But
he-
then he shows him the tattoo. I was like, all you had to do was show up and show the tattoo.
Right.
You had the ring. You had the
Right.
king's
Showing
ring.
showing Claw's body though makes it so that the people are crossed between him and
Well, yeah, it's to make
Black
the
Panther.
guy from Get Out think that, oh, look at the thing you couldn't do, T'Challa, because you apparently are fucking useless without your powers or your suit, which they actually put in the fucking film.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. Don't neuter your character and then blatantly tell us that our character is fucking useless without his powers or his suit. Because T'Challa literally does nothing without his powers or his suit. He's not particularly clever.
Yeah.
Nope, he's got the women for that. He's
Right.
not a super awesome trained fighter like he was in Civil War for some reason. They're like, well, he fought in the water he lost to a military guy with his own weapons. Like, T'Challa grew up using these like old school primitive ass weapons. He should fucking be a badass. Killmonger is like good with guns and knives and shit. It's like, come on now. What
Not
are we
to
doing?
mention, like, T'Challa does a lot of acrobats in the suit. His body would still be able to do some of them to an extent.
Yeah.
It's like jump
Right.
over his fucking ass, snap his neck, throw him down the waterfall. Boom, we're
Be
done.
fucking done with. Well, again, it's just like
Kill your cousin.
think of all the cool moments in Civil War with him, and then think of all the cool moments in Black Panther. There aren't a lot. Like, I think about Civil War, and it's like, move, Captain. I won't ask a second
Also,
time. He's
can we
gotta
say
fuck him up.
why? So
Don't do that. Yeah.
from the rules of that movie, basically anybody can just show up and challenge him for the right to be king whenever.
Sure. Fuck
But
it,
at the
why not?
beginning, they were just like they're
We
doing
could
the
bring John over there
challenge.
if we wanted to.
Well, at the
Bring it.
beginning, they were doing the challenge because the king had died. They were going to give him the crown. So then it was open up for a challenge if people didn't think he was worthy enough. So then later, so it's like, how come no one just challenges him randomly on a daily basis?
All the time.
Yeah.
Or even just or even let's just be fair and say it's only once a year or whatever. It's during that thing. And it's like, okay, I do not believe for one moment that T'Chaka, his old ass, was fighting every year.
Right.
Because they take away the power and they go, well, it's because nobody would challenge T'Chaka because they liked him as ruler. It's like, man, you are so naive. What are you, 5? Like, who
M'Baku
doesn't want to
would
rule a
have-
country?
M'Baku would
Or
have
El
taken
Chapo
over.
before he became a drug lord.
You fucking hell.
Right.
But then you have like, I'm like, the most advanced society, and you pick your ruler off of trial by combat. Get fucked. Like, movie, you're stupid. Like, you make no sense. Like, movie's fucking terrible. I'm thinking about it. It's making me bad.
Okay.
It's
You know,
so
let's-
bad.
let's
Speaking
move
of
on, let's
combat,
move
I
on,
want
let's
to talk
move
about
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 11. I hope you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah. No, go ahead.
Like,
Yes,
oh,
get me
man.
away from this film.
right. Like, so they're coming up with the new DLC called Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, which
Okay.
is supposed to be.
Oh, it's just like
and-
new DLC and
Yeah,
like a-
it's like this whole new extension. There's supposed to be 5 new chapters, and like we get like 3 extra characters, which consist of Fujin, which I haven't used since Mortal Kombat 4. Second was Shiva. Like she was in the storyline of Mortal Kombat 11, but she wasn't playable. And fucking RoboCop Tintin, I should call him. Like lately, just came out of nowhere, out of everybody's eyes.
Don't forget Ash.
Didn't they announce
Ash from the Evil Dead.
Terminator's gonna be in it too?
That's still rumored.
I think the TA
Really?
Like even though that a lot of people was expecting Ash to be in the game, like even Bruce Campbell himself even tried to, troll the idea that he's not in the game.
Right.
I'm still skeptical on him being in the game, but I do have my faith that he will. So honestly, like just watching like these new trailers coming out, like I'm actually pretty damn stoked about it. Because like I mean like I usually play Mortal Kombat 11 online every time I'm at my boy Brian's house. But now that since we have like 3 more characters and now friendships are back, we haven't seen that shit since what was it, Mortal Kombat trilogy?
I don't even remember. I thought the
Yeah,
stupid commercials
it was a
were
long
dumb.
time ago. Like they got rid of that type of shit since the late 90s.
Like I said, I had to stop playing those games because I kept breaking fucking controllers. I was like, a lot of the times the controls were so inconsistent for me that I'm like, I'm so fucking terrible at this game. What's wrong? I think one of the coolest controllers. I don't see a lot of them anymore. I'm an Xbox player, in case nobody knows. I do have a PS4, but I tend to be on the Xbox a lot more often. And now I think the Switch is a perfect console. Because I could not beat fucking Shao Kahn in like, I think it was like Mortal Kombat 9 or 10 or something.
Yeah.
And
Man, he was a kind of 9.
Well, and it was just like I'm trying to use the joystick, so like the up and downs to like do certain moves would just fuck me constantly. So I was getting really pissed off. And then the hardest one for that joystick is the corners, like when you try to do like the down and right at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh fucking hell, like I can't do this. So like Xbox had a controller where you could actually make the D-pad either the normal plus sign or you could turn it and it would have the little paddles like webbing in between your fingers type thing.
Okay.
It was fucking dope. I told Hannah I've never been more pissed off in my life because I'm playing the game. I'll never forget this. I'm in Florida. I was still in school. We're playing. I'm playing the game. I did about 10 to 15 attempts, and I'm getting pissed off. I just threw my controller into the floor, shattered, and then I got up and just started jump stomping it. Just crushed it into a billion pieces.
That's rage.
Oh, I rage quit like a motherfucker, dude.
Ooh.
So pissed off. I immediately went to Walmart, bought this new controller with the D-pad, beat him first try. Lost my shit, dude. I go, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
And then he broke that remote too.
just one of those things.
That one survived for about another 6 months, I think.
Just one of those things you stare at yourself like, that's it.
Was it the Nico sound pad?
Huh?
Was it the Nico sound pad for Xbox One interface?
Maybe.
I'm looking at a different control. Oh no, this just attaches to the.
It's probably the Pro controller.
Oh
Yeah.
the Pro.
I think it was a Pro.
Because
it's not an Elite.
Right.
It's not the one with the paddle. It was the one underneath. I think Pro is right. I think that's what you're. Yeah. No, I bought that shit. Came back, beat it first try, and I just go, well, fuck. All right.
That's it. Well, welcome to the family.
Well, I'm assuming because there is this bullshit that happens with controllers. Like, if you have like the joystick stuck in like a certain way, when you turn the controller, it's like calibrated to do that. So like your character will always just keep walking forward, even if you're not touching it.
Yeah.
I think that's what was happening to me. So it was fucking up my combos because.
So
you know what I'm saying? So maybe I just already had a jaunty controller and I was like, okay. No.
Right. As a matter of fact, I'll get to that because that includes about the Switch's issues with their controllers. So I'll get to that in a second.
That's why I love the fact that they have like 90 different versions because I bought a GameCube version of the controller for the Switch and I used that for Smash, but then I bought an Xbox looking one for all the other games I play.
I haven't seen the Xbox looking one. I've seen the GameCube.
But moving on, like Ed Boon, God bless him, of all the freaking trolling he's been doing, especially for Melina, who died on Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah.
Everybody wants her back. So when is Melina gonna come back? So all right.
She was trending on Twitter because of like a fucking trailer.
Yeah, it's because of the friendship download they have for the DLC of Aftermath. There's Katana, like doing her finishing move, and all of a sudden Melina out of the fucking blue start doing pancake.
So
then
for
they
all
say Melina.
So for all the fucking laymen's out there who don't know what a friendship is, what would that be, Q?
A friendship is basically an opposite of fatality. So instead of mutilating your freaking opponents, you could just like do this really funny ass finisher. You just see your character just like kind of throw it in your face, like they're
Start jump
dancing.
roping or bake a
Yeah,
cake
so-
or something.
Dude,
Hugging.
you talk about doing this freaking breakdance during the jump rope on that trailer was fucking boss. Like, I mean, yeah, and get this, and you guys can smack me upside the head where you want. So Kano's friendship was him barbecuing.
Okay.
So when you open the grill, you see some what was it? It was blood sausage and shrimp.
Yeah, because he's Australian.
Yeah.
I did not know. That's what I didn't know. I didn't know
Bruh.
barbecue meant barbecue. But I was like, welcome back. I am today years old. The
All right. No, here you go. Slap. Bad man. You're a bad. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You
Yeah.
bad man.
So yeah, like that was a punch in the dick.
Dude,
Hey,
did they get rid of animalities? Do they not do that anymore?
Well, I mean, if you're a Nightwolf or anybody, but otherwise not entirely.
Oh, that was the coolest part about Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh my god. Okay, so okay. Okay. You went there. All right. So Q, you might
ahead.
get a kick out of this one. We went down the road of watching Mortal Kombat, the first movie.
Okay.
Then the next day, and I did a review because I actually really like that movie.
I think it's pretty good.
And then the next day we did Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Why can they not get Raiden right?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Dexter's dad
Why
Did they
did
is
just
they
not
not
a
want to be?
good
Did
pick
they just
for
not
it.
want to be racist? Is that what the deal was? Like,
No, why they had to use Jason Morris, the token dead guy?
So
I mean, he's like pre-Sean Bean.
so
no.
we all know they changed actors for that movie, and fucking Johnny Cage or Johnny Cage. Yeah, that's
you're
right.
right.
Yeah. He's in the
It
second
was
movie for
Johnny
like,
Cage, it was in Sonya and
Sonya.
Regan.
but Johnny Cage is only in Annihilation for like 2 minutes. He doesn't even get a fucking speaking part before they kill him.
Oh, and they recasted Jax too. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because he was
Lynn
like
Williams,
a small part
he
in the
was,
first one.
I believe,
Super cybernetic enhancement. Get
yeah.
some.
So
Oh, damn.
Okay.
20 points for the reference. Jeez.
But-
I watched the shit of that film, dude. I saw it. My sister was working in a movie theater, so she would just let us in all the time. So me and my buddy, we saw that probably 8 times in theaters, and we had one. I'll never fucking forget it. I'm so fucking lame. When it was over, because you don't fucking leave the credits with the
No.
dun. I was rocking that fucking soundtrack, dude, forever. Even when I went to high school, you listen to that shit in the gym. And when those credits hit, man, it was just me and him in that theater by ourselves. We're running up and down the fucking aisle, just like fucking shadow boxing and kicking and shit. We were so lame. It's awesome. It's
Try to
fucking
do uppercuts
awesome.
by the seats. Like,
Fucking awesome. That film is fucking terrible, dude. It is terrible.
But it's
Like,
so
goddamn
it's
it.
so upbeat
Right.
though. Like I would watch.
It's just silly.
I would watch Annihilation over and over. Mortal Kombat, the first one, I couldn't do as many times as Annihilation. Annihilation is just so fast paced. It's like
Back in the
I could
day,
just
I
go
could. but
whatever.
Fuck, man. It's just like now I'm just like I'm dying to get through it because I'm just like, oh, this is so corny. It's so bad.
There's
and
so
it's like,
many fights, dude. That movie is like 90% fighting, 5% bad dialogue, and
Yeah.
5% like credits.
atrocious
Mortal
CGI.
Kombat Annihilation was like what Doom was supposed to be.
See,
Yeah.
and this is what, and it's funny you say that. I always tell people this is a perfect indicator of video game movies. Like Tomb Raider, I think, has been the only one that finally actually made a movie. Assassin's Creed really tried, but fuck, that movie sucks.
Right.
I don't understand how you can't make a good Assassin's Creed movie. I just don't get it. But anyway, the first movie felt like somebody who gave a shit about the source material.
Yeah.
Right.
And the second one felt like it's what old white people think video games are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's just like I said in one of the episodes, like where we were talking about Mortal Kombat. Like it was kind of our fault because we never paid attention to the slogan "Destroy our expectations."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the tag like I did for this film on Letterboxd. I said
Oh, you're gonna shill yourself here?
Yeah, I actually read
A
that
little bit.
review.
I said this film is 90% action, 5% bad dialogue, and 5% story. Action, cheesy action.
Is that Annihilation?
Yeah, Annihilation.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Makes me wonder. So, what'd you say about the first one then?
I actually like the first one. I actually wrote a decent review on that. I
Yeah,
gave
did
the
you give
first
it-
Well,
one.
I want the tag. Give me the tagline.
I gave the first
did
one
you give
3
it 3
stars.
stars?
I don't know if I put a tagline on this one. Let's see here.
So 3 out of 5 stars for the first mortal.
Yeah. Trip
Okay.
down memory lane, rewatching this fun. No. Let me see if there's an actual tagline in here. No, I didn't write an actual tagline in this. I should go back and write one for it.
Oh yeah, you should.
But I gave that 3. I gave the Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I gave it 1.5.
Thank you. That's exactly what I would have done too. Good call. No, I agree.
And and you know what the wild part is about that about the first film? Like, I think that was one of Gene Siskel's only thumbs up that I remember. Like, that was like the first review I watched on Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, and
wow.
just so people can get reference, I also gave Killer Sofa 1.5 stars on there.
Damn.
But no, after we got done watching Annihilation, I had Mortal Kombat Legacy. Unopened.
Oh, that's the
web
YouTube
series. Yeah.
Who put that out? Machinima, I think it was.
Yeah,
Yes.
with Warner
Yes.
Brothers. With Warner Brothers, they both did it together.
Yeah, because after the Mortal Kombat Rebirth videos flourished, they
Yeah.
decided to make a production.
So-
of Legacy.
We watched the Blu-ray Mortal Kombat Legacy. God, I don't know what I didn't
It's pretty
know.
anus.
I was like, what is going on? The only thing it had going for it was nothing.
I would maybe say the fight scenes, and that's being nice. Like,
Yeah.
the Johnny Cage Cabal fight was really cool, but then after that, it's like, oof. Like, you guys put all your money into that fight. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh man,
All the
Well,
money.
I did
fucking
like
feels bad.
I did like that they had the actress who played Sonya Blade, Jerry Ryan,
And
Ooh,
Shao,
yes.
Shang Tsung.
and Shang Tsung in the second part.
Yeah.
For the second
fucking-
season.
So here's
actually,
Hiroki Tagawa.
actually, the guy. Actually, it's Johnny Tsunami's grandfather. Get it right.
Yes.
so we watched the whole first part because apparently there were 2 fucking parts and I didn't know. I only had the first part. I thought I had the whole
Oh, you
thing.
fucking troglodyte!
This
Come
whole
on.
time, I thought I had the whole
What
thing.
are you doing?
So
Fucking get on my level, son.
What is
So,
it, goddamn asshole?
we
What's
watched that and it ended, and I was just like, wait, there's supposed to be like 19 episodes. Where's the other 10? And so I looked up, and then I ordered it that night and got it like 2 days later through Amazon, and we sat down and watched Mortal
Thanks for keeping the
Kombat.
economy going, Michael.
Right?
We appreciate you.
Mortal Kombat Legacy 2, as it has to say like every fucking episode.
Legacy Annihilation.
And then that's when you get the actor who played Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat to reprise the role.
Yes.
They just say, well, you look older. They did change Raiden from part 1 and 2. I was like, yeah, why not?
Gotta stay consistent.
But this time in part 2, they actually made it an Asian man. So
Asian man. Cool.
in the first one, it was weird, the story that they were trying to tell. At first, I was just like, are these just supposed to be shorts, or is this like one story coming together? You couldn't tell in the first.
Oh,
part.
it was
Yeah.
100%. It was 100% shorts that were supposed to culminate to a full movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like I don't know if you've ever watched like Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
Or like,
I've
Yeah.
seen some of that, yeah.
Or people really like Ruby, I guess, on Rooster Teeth. So
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of like that. They
here's-
make the full film and then they cut it into like 5-6.
here's what got me really pissed. Because you watch the second part, like we ended up sitting down because they're like 10-minute, 8-minute, 6-minute pieces for each character.
Yeah.
They actually do, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, the only ones they really do good up with.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, man, they cannot fucking get away from that storyline.
No, they
Like,
can't.
They did it in the animation.
They did it in the animation, the exact same story.
It's so silly. I go, like, fucking hell, if you guys are going to keep doing this, how about just make a full movie?
Right?
Like,
Just
it would
do
be really
their
dope.
2 clans. Just give me a
I'm-
movie of that.
You could literally give me a trilogy, and I'm not a big fan of, like, going, yeah, let's make the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally do a full film with Sub-Zero and his clan,
Mm-hmm.
and then you learn about how they get their powers, and
Yeah.
maybe it's like only 1 or 2 people from their clan can do it,
Right.
and you have to train and blah, blah, blah. And then the second one is Scorpion and his tribe.
Right.
And then you figure out how he sells his soul
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And then in the third one, they have to fight each other.
Right. Right.
And there you go. It
Yeah.
would be fucking dope. And you
Even
have
as a
one
mini
winner.
series, dude. Even as a 3-part mini series, that would be dope.
It'd be great. It'd be fucking great.
But that was like the cool part. But then as you get to the last episode, part 2, that's when it actually started getting a little better as you would go through, because you were getting used to the characters and shit like that, and they were starting to tie them all in again finally. And right when I forget who he was fighting, Liu Kang went after one of the other guys. Forget the name of the guy. Oh, it's
I haven't seen it.
gonna get me off.
It's gonna get you.
Yeah, it's
off?
gonna get me
I
off.
was
I
gonna say,
just
Splooge
realized
all over
what
the
I
fucking
said.
computer.
If you could describe the character, I may know who
bald.
you're talking about.
He wears the hat, kind of like Raiden.
Oh, Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The one with
God,
the
fuck
shirt.
both of you. How do you like that?
But they were gonna go at it because the storyline, if people haven't watched Legacy, is like
God, going at it and getting off. All right, no, it's fine. Phrasing.
the story. I actually like kind of the premise of it. It's like Mortal Kombat's happened. Liu Kang has won. Now they're going
So this
back
is like
into it.
Aftermath.
Yeah, so this is like Aftermath, but they're going back into another combat. And and this time Liu Kang is on Shao Kahn's side.
Ooh.
Oh, saucy.
Yeah. And they go into some backstory and shit. So they're gonna go into their big fight. It's episode 10 on that disc. It's the last episode. Bam, cut. To be continued. Motherfucker, they canceled the third
Yep.
season, and I was like, wait, because I looked it up on IMDb. I was like, well, there's only 19 episodes. Where the fuck is the rest of the story? What's
too
going
big for your
on?
britches, baby.
And
That's
then Mike is
why I
like, well,
always
maybe
I advocate for finishing the story, man.
Yeah.
You finish the
Right.
story.
Well, me and Michael were watching it together, and he's like, "Well, maybe they're making it now." I was like, "Bro, they canceled it 5 years ago. They ain't touching
that
it."
shit ain't happening.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was so pissed too, because the
over,
guy who
son.
played Kung Lao actually is really good. He actually played in
He actually went to a Mortal Kombat.
right. He was actually the one of the people that they had in I was gonna say Wu-Tang, Wu Assassins.
You're a bad person. Racist.
And he's
Wu
actually
Wu
a
Assassins
martial
ain't
artist.
nobody to fuck with.
Right. But that was my Mortal Kombat big like fuck you Michael moment when they just canceled the shit. I hate finding stuff that they cancel and they
Isn't that a
don't
bummer?
give you like right when you start getting into it too, because like I've heard so much shit about Legacy being dumb, and I was just like, I don't, whatever, I'm gonna give it a shot because Michael wanted to watch it. But then it
Right.
was just like, man, this
Yeah, there have been a couple of shows where I've lucked out where Hannah started it, and I watched like 2 episodes. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, and then I just didn't get back to it because I couldn't be fucked. And she kept watching it, and then she goes, "Motherfucker!" I was like, "What?" She's like, "They fucking canceled it." And they didn't finish the story,
Yeah.
and she got really pissed off. I'm like, "Oh, cool. All
Okay.
right, cool. I'm not gonna bother."
so
Have you ever heard of Happy Town?
yeah.
It was like a weird like murder mystery type thing. It was really clever.
Yeah.
We watched like 2 episodes. I'm like, this is really interesting. Straight up got fucking canceled. I was like, ooh, good thing I didn't start watching. I'm good. 2 episodes,
You know,
I'm gone.
So the
Actually,
guy,
that would be a good idea for Mike. You know, like instead of just looking at useless products like the DVD rewinder, maybe he could actually talk about one season shows.
fucking shows that get canceled with a cliffhanger.
Like ones that should have came back and shit like that. Or
Right.
maybe ones that got canceled.
Like,
I
Like,
might
didn't
go-
get canceled soon enough.
I might get pissed
Right.
off.
Yeah. No, dude, it hurts your soul, man. An uncompleted story hurts your soul.
Right.
Yes, it does.
But
Yes,
it's funny.
It does.
It's funny that you brought up Wu Assassin, and we were talking Mortal Kombat.
And I think that's
Because I was
another
thinking-
one that's getting canceled. That they're not getting a second season of Wu Assassins. I don't
Oh, yeah.
think.
Well, and I watched Into the Borderlands or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Oh, God, that was a big disappointment of a show too.
Really,
But,
I've heard nothing but good things
Oh,
about
Into
that.
the Badlands.
Into
Yeah,
the
thank you.
Badlands.
That's
yeah.
it. It was just because it was like overtly cartoony and really bad. It was made by it was made by AMC around the time Walking Dead was coming out.
Uh-huh.
So the production value was pretty solid, but then you'd have these like weird fight scenes that just look like cartoons. It was really bad. It was like if
Doesn't
Crouching
it-
Tiger, Hidden Dragon didn't already show off the fact that it was kind of silly and like defying gravity. You know?
Right. Actually, it
And-
reminded me of this one stealth game called Tenchu back on PlayStation. Like
That
it's
sounds
a
familiar.
it's a really fun sneaking game, but at the same time, you just really wish the action they put on there was more outside of the product instead of just like
Yeah, it was just like I'm like either go all out and just be campy and silly, or dial it back and be realistic. And the problem is that the show was like up its own ass. It was like the dialogue is really
agree.
bad. It's
I
so
agree.
bad. But it was like I can't remember who it was Donnie Yen or somebody. I can't remember who
Yeah.
the lead
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
But it's like fucking hell, dude. He's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, how are you fucking this up?
Mhm.
And but
He
like
was the best
costumes,
part
like,
of Iron Fist.
kind of. It actually kind of felt like that. Like it was just like it was. It thought it was so they thought they were so fucking cool, but it's like, man, your dialogue sucks, but like your production value's through the roof, and it was really annoying.
if I ever made a review, I would have rated it. Okay, but why though?
Yeah.
It kind of, yeah, or like, could you not?
Well,
um,
one show that
but
has...
it was making me think of a movie that I can't believe didn't get a sequel, and it still blows my mind. And don't get me wrong, I went back and watched it. It's not like particularly amazing, and I kind of slurred there. It's fine.
Okay, if we're getting on movie, okay. Let me take my shoes off.
Okay. Have you
We don't
seen?
At least we don't have to smell it.
Have you seen? It's funny you say that. The folder that me and him share on my Dropbox is Michael Smells. I don't know why I did that, but I just did it because it's funny, and I won't change it.
Right.
You guys remember a movie called The Ninja Assassin?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of not good, but I kind of love it.
They're trying
And
to
I
be
don't-
Ninja Gaiden so bad.
They wanted it so bad, and I was just like, "Can I have a sequel, please?" I don't think it'll be good, but can I
Yeah.
have it? Like, I want it.
Didn't
It was
that
just
didn't
like-
end with like a cliffhanger, did it?
I don't
remember.
even know. I barely remember the film except like it was like it wanted to be a Tarantino film, like really bad. It felt like if you watched Kung Fu Hustle but made by Quentin Tarantino. Like that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Stephen Chow is a fucking brilliant filmmaker. If you
Right.
haven't seen Shaolin Soccer, go fucking watch it. If you haven't seen Kung Fu Hustle, go fucking watch it.
Well,
Piece of art.
when you were
Oof,
talking
just-
about
Oof.
the aesthetic going along with like, the dialogue and shit like
Dialogue and tone and shit, yeah.
that. One that I think that did it pretty well. They knew they wanted to be funny, and then their aesthetic was kind of like think Kevin Sorbo Hercules almost.
Okay.
But
Right,
like
very campy.
but crisper quality because it's 4K now. Was the New Legends of Monkey, which is the Monkey King story
Yeah.
but reimagined. I was
Is
like,
that on Netflix?
yeah,
Yeah, well, and don't forget, I think those are either prequels or sequels to Journey to the West, I believe, is the first one.
Okay.
for Monkey King or the New Legends.
Yeah, Journey to the
For
West was a
Monkey
great
King,
movie.
Yeah,
too.
the
for
Monkey
Monkey
King
King,
is, yeah.
for sure. I don't know about the other one.
The New
but-
Legends is, from what I know, is just a reimagining of the Monkey King story.
Okay,
'Cause he's
but
not a
Monkey
monkey
King,
in that
I believe
one,
is
so.
part of the Journey to the West, which was
Yeah.
it's a little long, but it's. I mean, if you like goofy Asian lore, weird, like
Dude, if
over the top animation, it's
if
fun.
you
Not
love
animated movie, but
or
like
if you
CGI.
can stand reading subtitles, I suggest you watch at least the first Monkey King movie, the original Monkey King. Dude, the visuals in that thing alone are just fucking out of this place. Like, I'm like, if you were tripping and you watched that, you would, oh my god, yeah. Anyways, but the New Legends of Monkey, I hope it gets a second season. It hasn't been announced, but it hasn't been canceled either. So we'll
Right.
see.
So it's a show.
It's a show. It's a 10 episode show. And it's like campy-ish, so it's funny. It's fun. Especially if you can stand the aesthetic of like, Xena or Hercules or, shit like that. Or any freaking show that Bruce Campbell did besides Burn Notice.
I don't know, man. I've been watching a lot of shows lately. I'm like, Xena and Hercules had pretty decent production value.
Bro,
for
yes
their
they
time.
did.
Absolutely.
For their time, like I mean, they were fighting.
It's
like,
all shot
Hydra
in New
monsters and
Zealand
shit.
too, so and then
And
their
don't forget,
CG
you'll
isn't
never-
that bad.
You'll never see me complaining about what's his name? The guy from The Boys, Carl Urban. You'll never see me bitching about him playing fucking bleached haired Cupid.
Did he?
He's got fucking wigs, dude. Yeah, he looks like an asshole. It's so funny.
Oh,
It's so fucking funny.
that was another. I was gonna bring that up. The guy.
Dude, watch those old shows, man. You will forget how many people showed up on that show. That shit ran for like 10 years apiece. They got every fucking actor wanted to be on that. And you have to remember, because this was stuff I never realized. Lucy Lawless is fucking Australian. They shot all that shit in New Zealand and Australia, man.
Yeah.
God, Lucy Lawless is still so fucking hot. I love her so much.
So here's something that's kind of wraps it all together too.
And so's Gabriel Renee O'Connor, still a babe. Still a babe.
Yeah.
Hit their Instagrams.
You know what kills me about Lucy Lawless? I didn't know she was on the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Where was she in that?
She was, being interviewed. She was the one punk chick talking about how hot he was.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back and
rewatch
that.
There you go.
Ooh, another. Just since you brought it up, this blew my mind the other day. Have you guys ever seen the show Bones?
Yes.
With David Boreanaz, and I love that show. It got really fucking stupid around season 6, but it was still fine. I finished it out. It was fine. I say that the last like 2 seasons were terrible. But the lead character, Bones herself, Dr. Brennan.
Yeah, Dr.
I almost said Brenner, like Yul Brenner. She's in Spider-Man 2.
Really?
Yeah, it fucking blew my mind, dude. I was like, no way, because I'm like, I have a like super crush on her. I almost like her better than Zoe Deschanel. Because if you guys don't know, it's Emily Deschanel.
She was the She was the one that was talking about like how late it was with the pizza.
Yeah, she was at the hotel. She was at the hotel or the business office when he came out of the closet.
Pizza time.
Yep. Fucking hilarious, dude. I saw that scene. I go, wait a minute.
That makes sense.
Blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, that's so fun. And it's because she was like chewing on gum and being like kind of Valley Girl-esque. I was like, oh man, what a different character. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
1 minute, I'm just like, oh, bae, I miss you. Please do another show.
I just want like one show.
Dude, I love little cameos like that. Like when I go back and watch old shit, I go, "Fuck, you really did this, huh? Like, what were you doing? Why were you here?" Don't forget, a lot of Lucy them were Lawless starting was in out Spartacus too. And yum.
I remember Spartacus.
There was a 10-year-old me. He'd probably started a fire in his bedroom under his blanket. It would have been awful. Oof. Oh my God. Oh, Xena, I love you. That's goals, dude. To have my girlfriend dress up in the armor. Oof.
The nice thing with Xena and Hercules,
right? I already saw Q like looking up to the sky,
like,
that'd be a good day.
The nice thing with Xena and Hercules was what it did for like TV crossover shit. Because they didn't do a lot of crossovers before that. You forget she got
introduced in Hercules.
Yeah,
like that was the cool thing.
Yeah, and then they gender reversed it with Buffy and Angel. Same fucking network almost. At first, anyways.
Angel is better, by the way.
Fuck you.
I'm just gonna do it. I'm fucking hot take. Angel is better.
That's
even though it turned into
John
a completely different show.
Apparently, right there.
I will always tell everybody the episode I knew for a fact that show completely changed, like its aesthetic, was the puppet episode
for Angel.
Yeah. Because like the first season's like this really dark and gritty noir thing, and then all of a sudden it was like when they got the hotel, I was like, oh, things are getting weird. We're going a little different. All right, that's fine. And then when they took over the law office, I go, this show has fucking lost its mind.
Wolfram and Hart.
Yeah, it took about 4 or 5 episodes for me to get back in it. I was like, ooh, this show has gotten real stupid.
They were there the rest of the series.
Yep. It was the gun storyline I really hated. It was so fucking dumb. They wanted to keep him in, but they could just not figure out what to do with him.
They just put him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, right. What is his name?
August. They did that as Lucy Lawless.
August something.
Yeah, Lucy Lawless was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well.
Yep.
She got killed, and that was like a sad day for me.
I think it was like season 2. I was
Yeah, it was
about that. It was during the whole Hydra thing, which
right.
That's when I'm like, thank God the show got really good. When the Hydra thing happened, that was when they decided we're gonna go serious and fuck the movies.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
Which worked. It worked. I would love to see that shit again.
I absolutely agree.
I want to go back and watch Xena and Hercules again, dude. And Angel and Buffy. I swear I could do a podcast just on
I didn't even know
shows.
Xena and Hercules had a animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
wasn't
then
particularly good.
they also had do you remember they did the Young Adventures of Hercules with
Yo, that was
the one with Ryan
terrible.
Gosling? Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, but one of the actors, the guy who played his buddy in there,
Tacules or whatever?
yeah, that wasn't Aeolus.
Aeolus, that's it.
No, it wasn't Aeolus. It was another one. I think it was like his cousin or some bullshit like that. In there, he plays the same actor plays himself from that show in the original Hercules series as the younger version of the guy.
What the fuck?
Because he's dead or something, I think.
Oh.
So he's playing the younger version of himself in the Hercules show, but then in the young Hercules, he's just playing himself, which is kind of cool.
That's clever.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it was the let me.
Show was terrible, by the way. It
Oh
was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. We agree it's trash.
It was terrible. I watched the shit out of it because I'm like, give me more Hercules and give me more
I
Xena.
mean,
but-
it had to happen after Bobby's work, though.
Wait, who was the actor
was a
that
very-
starred in that one? It was Ryan Gosling, right? Yeah. And then there was they did another one, didn't they? A younger Hercules or some bullshit
Oof. I can't
before
It
that?
was outside of Raimi's series, but yeah, part of like
Oh,
I'll
and
still,
Or
I'll still
so-
bitch and complain. If we're gonna keep making fucking Disney remakes, give me a fucking Hercules remake right now and have Danny DeVito actually be Phil, please.
here it
Please,
was
for the love of fuck.
Jason,
Please.
the guy who played Jason on Young Hercules and Hercules on Your Journeys. Also, before he did Hercules, guess where he was at?
Porn.
He was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He
Oh,
was the one.
fuck it.
He was the one they had replace Johnny Cage for like the first 10 minutes of the
No
movie.
way!
that makes sense.
No way! Fucking full circle, dude.
Bollocks.
What the
Fucking bollocks.
What the actual fuck?
I had to do that one.
My brain melted. Can somebody please go back and rewind this podcast on a DVD rewinder?
He was
please?
also in one of my favorite movies, Airborne. Do you remember Airborne? It was-
Oh, that's
I
the one
remember
with
Airborne.
the dog that played basketball, right?
That's everybody.
no.
I know, I'm being an asshole.
No.
Welcome to
No.
the podcast, sir. But still one of my favorite moments in a podcast was like, I think it was 3 or 4 episodes ago, where Michael kept bringing up names of people in the WWE universe, and I just kept fucking around. Would you say Zach Gowen? I was like, yeah, I loved him in fucking. I loved him in Hangover.
Actually, I could bring something up for wrestling. I mean, I know it was like
No, fuck it, we're talking. Let's go.
That's what
So,
this is?
my friend Tony, like, he was telling me about
Stark? Tiger?
Surprise, no. Plot twist, no. He was talking about Undertaker's fear for cucumbers.
Oh, like cats.
What?
You've never seen those YouTube videos?
Yeah. Like,
Just check 'em out.
apparently apparently Owen Hart, like he was a big prankster back then. There was one wrestling match. He actually tried to attack Undertaker with a cucumber, and apparently he barfed as soon as he saw the cucumber.
Sounds hot.
Hmm.
My girlfriend does that too when she tries to eat the whole thing.
Is that before you put the cucumber in or out?
But you got to do it a couple of times.
All right, so in. All right, but never mind. Yeah, but that kind of surprised me because I just grew this idea. It's like, what if somebody come in with a coffin full of cucumbers? What's he going to do in the middle of the ring?
Oh, he just walked the fuck out probably. If he truly has a phobia or something, Undertaker has enough like brass in the industry to just like literally fucking walk out.
Yeah,
Right.
Fuck you.
Be like,
Like,
well,
you don't
like,
even-
fuck you.
Right, as soon as they call up the salad bar, there's no
Bro,
cucumbers over there.
So
available.
they
Like,
tried to get Undertaker to do like it was off like live TV, but it was still in front of a live audience. they tried to get Undertaker to do a spin-a-rooney.
Word?
Yeah.
What now?
The five-
Oh, is that the
Good?
thing that Booker T did?
Yeah, the spin-a-rooney.
Right.
And like, so
Right.
they got a bunch of Vince told the ref in the thing, like, get him to do spin. So the ref had to tell Booker T to like do it on the mic in front of all these people. So Undertaker couldn't go no fucking where, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's on YouTube. You can watch this, guys. Just like Google Undertaker spin-a-rooney. And
Don't tell me what to do.
It's like a 20-minute fucking segment where like fucking The Rock comes out and all these are, and to do the spin-a-rooney. Triple H comes out and does a fucking spin-a-rooney. And seeing that guy spin around,
Was there any good?
yeah.
No,
But-
it's cringe.
But then
It's cringe.
Then Vince McMahon comes out, and you can see them, and because the cameras are clearly off, but they're still recording shit.
Right.
Undertaker looks at one of the cameras and is like, "I know you fucking put them up to this, and when I get back there, you better not be there." and then Vince McMahon literally just comes out to the fucking ring. And he does the spin-a-rooney. It looks like looks like he just got stone cold stunned. Like,
Right.
and then eventually Triple H just like punches somebody and like gets them to do like a fight because they have to react because of the audience is still there. So then he
Right.
just takes the fuck off. He didn't do it. He's like, fuck this. Vince McMahon looks so sad. He's like, man, I just wanted to have fun. But that's what you can do when you are the fucking Undertaker and you don't have to do what people want you to fucking do.
Yeah, fucking spin-a-rooney. Fuck the cucumber. Fuck
But
the
then-
cucumber on a spin-a-rooney.
But then I think like a few weeks later or like a month down the line when Booker T and Kane were tagged up, Kane did the spin-a-rooney.
Oh, I remember that clearly.
Yeah. It was
Rock and Sock Connection, still the best tag team ever.
Oh, they're the goats. Like,
Yeah, no, who you got? Dudley Boys were fun, but I liked a tag team that didn't necessarily work. Like they didn't like each other and they were completely different versus like both of them had the same gimmick.
I think it was always
Right.
fun when The Rock and Stone Cold had the team up because they were just beating the shit out of the guy in the ring, telling them they were gonna beat the fuck out of them that way.
I just anything Stone Cold Rock is good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's just peak pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Was the Attitude Era. Like good luck. You're not going to recapture that. That was lightning in a bottle.
I really enjoyed everything that they did with like the Ministry of Darkness around that time era. So you had the Ministry, then you had the Nation of Domination, then you had the corporate
Generation X. Also.
something corporate, whatever Vince's crew was.
The I think it was just
It was the corporation, yeah. But
Right.
then they like fucked it all up because they didn't have an end goal for who was in charge of the Ministry of Darkness, and Vince was just like, "Fuck it, it's gonna be me," and which made the storyline go to shit. And
No, I just like
That was the
everything
corporate
about
ministry.
that stuff was so cool. Like badass Billy Gunn with Road Dogg, like
but see, Vince gets criticized for that shit because he was coming up with these random fucking characters all the time. Like Undertaker was his idea, like not necessarily what we got, but like the dead man persona type thing. And it's like he gets so much shit for going very cartoony with his characters, but I'm like, some of that shit was the best. Fucking he let an old shit give birth to a damn hand. Come on, that's
to be
still
fair,
in my
that's not
head.
peak. That's when we're starting to get in the gutter
No,
a little bit. But
if it stayed in my head this many years and I haven't rewatched it.
But what I would say, that's a perfect example of a man who understands his audience and what he's doing. What do always people say about artists? The whole point, you're not here to give people what they want. You're supposed to go out there and give them stuff they didn't know they wanted. That's what an artist does. They're supposed to think outside
You
the
didn't
box.
deserve this.
Hey, what? But you know, like people are always talking about subverting expectations, and it's like there's a difference between subverting expectations and delivering something that I didn't know I wanted.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
like Game of Thrones and Star Wars are dealing with it right now with the idea, like we just had the year anniversary of the season 8 finale, the series finale of Game of Thrones.
No one gives a shit.
Nobody talks about that fucking show anymore, dude. And it was like, That was the only thing people talked about. If you went na 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 da 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 da, like people would know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Like anybody. And now nobody gives a fuck. And you know why? It's because the people making it didn't give a shit about it anymore. And they gave people what they wanted. It went from being this thing that like, oh man, I didn't know Ned Stark was going to get fucking killed in the fucking first season. But like, you're like, it's so memorable. And I think about it all the time. And it was so good. I didn't know I wanted to see Sean Bean die again for the 900th time. But then you got to the point where it's like, oh, okay, this character got what we wanted and this character's still alive. And it's like they just gave us everything we wanted because they just got on Twitter too much or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem is like, yeah, I could see you villainizing Vince McMahon for doing this stuff. You're like, no, I don't want to go this direction. I want to do this or this or this. And it's like, trust him. And if it doesn't work, then you still have time. It's not like your career ends in a week.
Which is where they're seeing a lot of it, though, now, because Vince McMahon's like, he's pushing that age right now, and he's like, trust me, and they're trusting him, and it's not working like it used to.
But you also have to understand that the guy is working against, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like fucking defending him after all the stuff I've heard, but the guy's a juggernaut. Like, I'm sorry, he's at least he's not like Weinsteining around and like
anymore.
For the most
part. I guess he never really did do like what Weinstein did. So
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
he just cheated on his wife. That's all.
The waiting pool of audience is so different from the 90s. Like you cannot get away with shit anymore.
But he's also coming up finally against companies that are allowing more freedoms to the wrestlers, because honestly, wrestling was based on you got bigger because you worked on it, not a room full of fucking writers wrote your dialogue for you.
Exactly.
That's not how you would come up in the industry. You'd cut your own promo live. You don't pre-record your bullshit. You don't. Well, sometimes they would pre-record it, but it would still be like off the cuff.
It's why you'll always kiss The Rock's ass. I don't know how he was so eloquent and so solid every time he was on mic. It was crazy. You don't see him trip. Like that guy either had it planned or he just seemed like a guy who could just go off the cuff and just deliver. It was insane.
Too bad the rest of his family couldn't do that. Because they're not all that great.
But I'd argue the years before that he didn't need to.
Right.
Nowadays, I mean, who even fucking cares? Like, I'm sorry, it's a dying ship right now. I don't.
Well, with AEW out now,
or at least with WWE.
Yeah.
AEW seems like it could be really interesting.
They're allowing a lot of cool stuff to happen. Like it's the best place for Matt Hardy to go because he's so innovative in like his promos and shit and how he develops his characters. Yeah. So it's really cool to see him get the freedoms because what he's doing there, I guess he tried to explain it to Vince and Vince just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then that's when his contract came up and he was like, all right, so I know what I'm going to go do then.
I know what I want to do.
Right.
So
even if it's away from his brother, it's still something that he can do. I mean, they don't need to be in the same company all the time, people. It's okay.
Right.
Let them shine on their own, you know. I just wish Jeff Hardy will get like the bump he deserves in the WWE. Like, because where he was before in TNA, he was up there. He was up there. He was champion all the time and all this shit. So I'm like, unfortunately, his I don't know what all happened before COVID. So, yeah.
So it's funny. Funnily enough, you brought that up.
Funnily enough,
I'm gonna
finish us off.
You
gonna finish us off, John?
It was funny that on one of the other podcasts where I cheated on you, I'm very sorry. They brought up a topic which was really interesting because of COVID. Because we've talked about them going kind of retro with movies and stuff now, which I think it's a great idea.
Retro? What do you mean?
Like movie theaters when they come back, they want to start showing off retro films, which I think is fucking brilliant. I think it's the smartest thing you could ever do, and I don't know why we haven't been doing it for years. they are starting to reopen drive-ins because you can kind of still do the social distancing because you're in your car.
Right.
So
Yeah, they just started here in town.
So I'm curious what you guys think, because one, it is neat to see a weird regression back into the retro, which is also really good for I don't know, the stigma for movies or whatever.
It'll be good for business too, all around.
Yeah. Which also I go, okay, so do you think it's a good idea? Would a drive-in still have staying power? And I guess I kind of just want to know your thoughts on the idea of reopening drive-ins for films. Like, what do you guys think?
Go on, Q.
I think it's a great thing. Take it a little bit of a step back. Like the drive-in we have here in town, it's been around like since the late 50s, and it always flourishes. Reeling in money, and especially with the films they choose to bring in. As soon as they slowly reopen some of the businesses here in Ohio, as soon as they got word of that drive-in, that place was packed. It's actually started to be packed ever since it started reopening. They had to literally cut off people, who's already in the entranceway, where the place gets full, and it's a relatively small parking lot they do have. It's not complete, it's not huge.
Yeah, it's not fucking multiplex. You're not gonna hold 900 cars or anything,
But yeah, but as soon as that came through, shit, it was just amazing how a lot of people would actually go out of their homes just because they missed the outside world in that sense. But a drive-in, even I admit it was a little unexpected. But
what do you
I see some optimism.
what do you think, Mike?
So what's the main question again?
Essentially, it's kind of like, okay, so we're opening drive-thrus because it makes sense for.
So what do I think it'll do? Long term, or
one, do you think it's a good idea? Two, I'm kind of curious. Do you guys think it will have staying power? Do you see when they open actual cineplexes again?
Right.
Do you think they'll still be a thing, or do you think they'll die out again?
I'll start with saying, and then I'll answer the question, but I'll start with saying there's actually a smaller theater in town that's opening its doors on the 1st. And what they're doing, because they want to get their theater back up and running, they want to get employees paid again, they want to start doing all that stuff.
Maybe pay their rent.
Right. And it's kind of like a Alamo Drafthouse type theater kind of thing. They have a couple screens in there and stuff, and that's about it. So what they're doing is they're renting it out. So I can go there and rent the theater out and have 16 people in the screen. We can watch whatever the fuck we want.
Fuck yeah.
I could bring any Blu-rays from my house. I can log into my Netflix there, I guess, or some shit,
Wow.
You rent it out. You get to do all that because you're not paying to watch that stuff. You're paying to rent the space.
To be there.
So as long as you have the media, you can. And you get personal usage of their entire 35 millimeter archives that they have in catalog. Yeah, catalog. And then you can also do gaming there.
That would be dope.
And it kind of pisses me off because when I was going through my plans of opening my theater, that was one of my things, was renting it out for video game tournaments and shit like that.
Yeah, fucking Smash Bros tournament, and
especially smaller theaters.
Fuck, dude.
Right?
That would be dope as fuck.
So I'm actually looking at possibly, getting some buddies together. I don't have any fucking friends here. I need some.
Know.
But
you had 2 people drop off on you today.
Yeah, I know.
Just for this cast alone.
Yeah. But
get fucked.
I need to find some people to do to go there, because I would love. There's some movies that I got that I would love to watch in theaters again. Or even in general, because I missed it in theaters, or
I agree. Or I wasn't old enough.
Right. And I think they're starting the rental out. It's $95, but it's for
That's not
16
bad at
people.
all.
You split the cost.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And then you can get whatever accessory or concessions. Yes, thank you. Shit like that. So that's one
Accessories?
option.
What, am I bringing a fucking dildo?
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
That's one option that the smaller theaters can offer, which is really cool. I really like that option. They already have 6 reservations booked, and they just announced it.
No, it's
So,
awesome. I think that's a great idea.
But to
Be
answer,
great for birthday parties. Fuck.
right. But to answer your question about drive-ins, do I think it's a good idea? Yes, I've always enjoyed going to a drive-in.
I think they're quaint.
They're okay. It's do I go to a drive-in for my first viewing of like the next big Marvel movie or something? No way.
I'm shaking
I want
my
to
head emphatically.
right.
No.
I want to experience that in a theater, or in a Dolby theater if I can.
You got to remember the audio is the big thing.
Right.
Like
Your car audio is not going to beat the movie theater audio, the surround system it has built into it. Your speakers are usually down by your feet, and or you got the big ones in the back. Even if you pimped out your ride with fucking Pimp Out My Ride
call
fucking
Exhibit
show
and
and
go to
yeah,
West Coast.
your audio is
Choppers
going
and
to sound
shit.
like shit because they take out all the good stuff after the show's shot anyways, but
Man, how do you think they deliver audio now? You think they still got the bullshit speakers, or do you think you can fucking
through your
like,
radio.
Bluetooth to it?
It's through your radio.
That's
A
kinda
lot
cool.
of them do it through your radio station. There
That's
are
kinda
some that
cool.
still
I didn't
do
know
like
that.
the speaker.
Yeah,
but
here does radio station.
yeah.
That's dope.
And
I
the
did
one,
not know that.
The one where Q is at, they actually play. So you pay for 2 movies. You pay for your car. It used to be you pay for your car. Now you pay per person, I believe.
Okay.
But you get in there, you park, and then they play 2 movies back to back on your screen. And what it is laid out is if you turn your car around, there's a whole nother screen there playing 2 other movies.
Hey.
So what we used to do was we would watch one movie on one screen, and if we didn't want to watch the second movie, we'd drive to the back of that lot right there and just turn on the radio station to tune into the other movie that was playing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, like I was telling Hannah that like the other day, it's like, man, with like food and stuff, especially with the pandemic going on, you wouldn't even just kill concessions. You could get rid of concessions. People could just bring their own food. I mean, you're in your
Well, they still
car.
make a lot of money off concessions, even at the drive-ins. And
But
a lot
still,
of them are
I mean, you're
doing
not
it
even
because
operating, so bring the ticket price up just a little bit to just be there, and you could bring your own shit. Like that'd be great.
I mean, people do anyways, but like
Yeah,
for
but
the
I'm saying
drive-ins
you're
I've been
doing
to,
it.
the drive-ins are usually the concessions and shit. It's basically just like going to a fucking restaurant, you know?
But I'm saying
So-
we could totally change that aspect. I've always had a problem with the idea that theaters only made money off the concessions. I
Right.
thought that was ass backwards. And
Right.
Well, there is a
This
big
was-
thing where doing the vintage movies or retro movies and shit.
yeah,
Where they're getting them at a cheaper lease, and they're only having to pay like a 20 or 30% percentage to the studios rather than that like 50% and shit.
yeah.
So they'll
The
actually
$3.50.
make a little more off of that, but in doing that, their plans are also to lower the cost of the ticket price to get more butts in their quantity
Yeah.
over, all that shit.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm all for drive-ins. There was
I think
even
they're fun.
I would even love to own a drive-in if it was profitable. Maybe this might make them profitable again, but
Well,
for
it's a lot-
short
and
term,
it's a
I
lot
don't think it's
easier
a
to bang
long
your
term
girlfriend
thing.
in the car during the movie.
Obviously.
I don't if we're gonna do that, I want
Obviously.
to pause the movie then.
I mean, you could take your wife too, Michael. It's the same thing. It's fine.
What did Christians say? No, not mind your business. Take a bra off. Okay.
I'm sorry. My van is rocking. Just keep watching the dinosaurs. Shut up.
Right. I swear I'm not joking with my dog. Like
What the fuck?
He's over here Pee Wee Hermaning it. All right. Well, yeah. So that's all I have really for the.
I
the
feel like we
drive-ins.
ran the gambit today,
I
boys.
think the drive-ins
What?
will. It won't be a long-term thing where it will last. I feel it'll just die out once everything starts. I'm not gonna say once everything goes back to normal because nothing's ever gonna go back to how it was.
Exactly. I agree.
Lots of things are changing.
No,
people need to get used to change.
I think I agree 100% with that sentiment. It's like when the actual theaters open up, it will become a novelty again, and you know, people, you know, because you'll feel like not only that, you're gonna feel like an asshole trying to keep your fucking car on for an hour and a half, like for air conditioning and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Especially like in southern states and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, granted, you can watch movies at night,
Also,
so that will help,
too,
but it's still hot as dicks.
It really
in Florida
sucks too trying to watch a movie if it's raining as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's one of the bad things about drive-ins as well, is because they'll still play the movie, but then you got the on your car, or you have, you know, fucking windshield wipers have to keep going. People don't think about that stuff, you know. It's
exactly.
Like,
no, they're totally a novelty. It's interesting, but I am glad they're trying something.
Yeah.
For the sake of it, and
there's already several of them that just opened up shop just randomly around Florida. And like I said, they were last week. I think I said they were doing it on the side of actual cineplexes and shit like that. So, and letting people park in the parking lots. But yeah, I don't think I have much more. I mean, I could keep talking about that, but there's so much.
Right.
John,
I got nothing else.
guys,
you gotta go.
I'm having a bit of a situation. A good one.
I was about to say. I was about to say I was sensing apprehension from the.
I wish there was a cam right now because my eyes are like as big as dinner plates. My girlfriend just came home. Things are happening. Boys, I think I may have to go to a drive-in here.
Say no more.
Guys,
Say no more.
Guy, holy shit. Okay, it's been really fun, guys. I think I need to go.
Please, by all means.
I gotta go. Later, nerds. I'm cutting out. Bye.
Peace.
John, you're still recording. All right, guys. All right. That's it for this episode of Operation Babble. Thank you, guys.
Right,
Quote.
much peace.
My quote will be King Shark from Justice League Dark. Yeah. King Shark is a shark. There we go. Pieces. Thank you, Q.
You're much welcome.
Later.
Peace, guys.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Don't forget to find Myke on all social platforms, including YouTube, by searching Myke Shrews, MYKESHREWS. You can find John on Instagram and YouTube via Bald Man Bad. Thanks and have a great day.